morning, people. It is Thursday, the 1st of December. Listen, we are blessed to be alive. It's the last month of the year. Do you know how sick that is? So you're blessed to be alive, but welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And as always, the lineup is lit. I'm sure you guys can see from the description, we have a special show for you today. But let's introduce ourselves.
I'm your boy, Big Mars from the east side of the bridge. Pum Pum Father and all that.
That's right. That is right. And I am your favourite shade queen. Do you know what? I am now championing. I'm running a campaign for men to step their pussy game up. That's what I'm doing. That is the energy that I'm on moving forward for 2023. Okay?
God
so
damn.
it's me, my own royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, and news analyst. And of course, the melanin is jam-packed.
That is right. Always jam-packed. Oh. It's just Yusuf disrupting the class. You might as well quickly do your intro. I guess not. Okay, no, man, we're moving on. How's everyone doing?
We're good, man.
Everyone's all right.
Everyone good?
I can say everyone's all right. Yeah, I'm all right.
What do you doing, class captain?
I'm good, man. It's the last day of the week for me.
You know how you get. This is your Friday.
This is my Friday.
This is your Friday. You know how you are on the Friday.
Well, look after me, man. Hold me down.
That's right.
It's going to be a special one, man.
It is going to be a special episode. Absolutely special episode. But yeah.
I would love you to elaborate on your new
men step in on my campaign.
Yeah.
So, because I've got a movement basically for men to step their pussy game up. Because I was telling Mark. So last week when I was telling Mark that some guys' opening lines is just to talk about your body, he was shocked. He was shocked. But I actually encountered it again yesterday when I was at the gym, trying to listen to you guys, trying to watch my brothers doing great things on TDA. And this guy comes, I think personally in the gym, there should be gym etiquette. So if someone's got their earphones in, talk less of like a YouTube. You should just know to not disrupt. But this guy walks up to me anyway, and he's like, and I'm like, 1 second, because pause what I'm watching. He's like, oh, you look good, you know. I said, thank you, sir. Oh, wow, looking at me up and down, which is never really good, but okay. I mean, keep your eyes up here, sir, but whatever. You look good, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Then he's like, I didn't really come here to ask you that. Are you single? I was thinking, not for you. Not for you, I'm not. I said, you don't know, I'm not single. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, oh, are you a PT? I said, no, I'm not. I'm not PT. He's like, oh, okay. And then, so that's what I was telling Margs, and Margs was saying how women aren't fair, because if that was a guy that I liked, I would, of course, take to it. And it's true. And I said, that is right. I'm not going to dispute that. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. For the right guy, I'm going to be single. But this is why I said you men need to step the pussy game up. You have to come with the right source, come with the right everything. If I am attracted to you, we can have a conversation. Yeah. Gym, church, wherever it is. But if you're not, unfortunately, it's just not it.
So guys need to be aware of their levels, basically.
Yes.
Because obviously he's magnified his.
Yeah. But you know what it is? He wasn't even bad looking. It's just, he was just like creepy, like just a bit weird, like, do you get me? Just lingering, and then look, that's just like, sir, face your squat, please. And then when I was doing squats later on, he comes to me, he's like, oh, you're cheating, you know? So then I had to even pause my thing, and I was like, sorry? He's like, oh, you're cheating. I said, how's that? You need to go lower than that. I said, I'm fine. I said, it's all right, don't worry about it. He's like, oh, you know what you're doing? I said,
he stopped you and told you to dip lower.
Now, why are you watching me, first of all? It was weird, man. I said, yeah, this is definitely step your pussy game up. Because sometimes you can be good looking, but if you're creepy, it just doesn't take points taken away. But it ain't it at all. But Yusuf, sir, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Oh yeah, guys, blocking our view.
Good.
I thought Yusuf was going to grab the mic, but he went straight for it.
Oh shit! Didn't realize I wasn't talking to the mic. No, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
That's one.
Good. All right. Should we get to our headlines?
Let's do it. first headline take us to America. So House Democrats on Wednesday elected the New York Congressman Hakeem Jeffries as their new leader, making him the first black American to lead a major political party in Congress, after Nancy Pelosi, the current speaker, announced that she was stepping aside to pave the way for a new generation. Jeffries, who's 52, will assume the role of minority leader when the new Congress is sworn in earlier next year, inheriting the position held for nearly 2 decades by Pelosi. In a show of unity after losing the House but delivering a stronger than expected performance in the midterm elections, Democrats unanimously approved Jeffries and 2 other top leadership positions by acclamation. Emerging from the closed-door meeting room, the soon-to-be leader declared, "House Democrats fight for the people. That's our story. That's our legacy. That's our values. That's our commitment." The trio of top leaders led by Jeffries will include the Massachusetts Congressman Catherine Clark, who's 59, as whip, and Pete Aguilar of California, 43, as the caucus chair in charge of messaging. They will take the mantle from 3 octogenarians, Pelosi and her long-serving deputies Steny Hoyer of Maryland and James Clyburn, the whip from South Carolina. Catherine Clark told reporters, "Today is a day of transition and hope and a renewal of the shared values of our caucus." Hailing the Democratic caucus as a beautiful mosaic of the country, Aguilar acknowledged the significance of being a Latino in a leadership role. He said, "Having the opportunity to help guide this caucus is a great responsibility, and I don't take it lightly." So we see some black excellence there. And the next headline takes us straight back home, man. Well, this home, and to the royal family.
That ain't home.
And the late Queen's lady-in-waiting, Lady Susan Hussey, has apologised and resigned after repeatedly asking a black British charity boss where she was really from. Ngozi Fulani, who's a charity founder, was questioned about her background at the charity event at the Palace on Tuesday. Ms. Fulani said that she was totally stunned by Prince William's godmother's comments. The Palace described the remarks as unacceptable and deeply regrettable. A spokesperson for Prince William said racism has no place in our society. The comments were unacceptable, and it is right that the individual has stepped aside with immediate effect. Lady Hussey, who's 83, was a close confidant of the late Queen and accompanied her at the funeral of the Duke of Edinburgh last year. Ms. Fulani, in an interview with an independent website, said, "The issue was bigger than one individual. It's institutional racism. I was in shock after it happened, and anybody who knows me knows I don't take this kind of nonsense. But I had to consider so many things. As a black person, I found myself in a place where I wanted to say something, but what happened would automatically be seen as my fault. It would bring my charity, Sister Space, down. It would be, oh, she has a chip on her shoulder." Miss Fulani also said that she didn't want to see Lady Hussey vilified. And that's the end of the headlines.
All right. Let's get into our topic of the day. What are you saying?
But you have to wait until the music finishes, please.
Oh, yes. Thank you. All right. So our topic of the day is linked to that last headline. And before we get into it, Brent's going to play a clip.
What part of Africa are you from?
I don't know. They didn't leave any records.
Well, you must know where you're from.
My bad. Alright.
I spent time in France. Where are you from?
Here, UK.
No, but what nationality are you?
I'm born here and I'm British.
No, but where do you really come from? Where do your people come from?
My people? Lady, what is this?
Oh, I can see I'm going to have a challenge getting you to say where you're from. When did you first come here?
Lady, I am a British national. My parents came here in the 50s when...
Oh, I knew we'd get there in the end. You're Caribbean.
No, lady.
Is
I'm
this a
of
skit?
African heritage, Caribbean descent and British nationality.
Alright, let me play the first part again because you guys missed
Yeah.
it.
Where are you from?
Sister Space.
No, where do you come from?
We're based in Hackney.
No, what part of Africa are you from?
I don't know. They didn't leave any records.
Well, you must know where you're from. I spent time in France. Where are you from?
Here, UK.
No, but what nationality are you?
I'm born here and I'm British.
No, but where do you really come from? Where do your people come from?
My people? Lady, what is this?
Oh, I can see I'm going to have a challenge getting you to say where you're from. When did you first come here?
Lady, I am a British national. My parents came here in the 50s when...
Oh, I knew we'd get there in the end. You're Caribbean.
No, lady, I'm of African heritage, Caribbean descent and British nationality.
All right. So to answer your question, Esther, it's not a skit. It's a reconstruction of what actually happened, right?
I thought that's like exactly how the interview went.
It is.
Yeah.
Transcript. They're reading it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. They just reconstructed it. Yeah, re-recorded it for us.
it's the I knew we'd get there in the end. That's really what got me.
Is what she's
That's
saying
why.
that crazy?
This is the topic of the day.
I ask people that. If I ask someone where they're from, I'll say that, where you really from? Because we're not from it.
Yeah, but that's black on black questioning. That's black on black line of questioning. A white person saying to you, yeah, where you really from?
I know what she mean. She mean like, what's my heritage? Where am I really? I don't even take offense to that.
No, but I think it's like, I think there's a better way to word it if it's come from a colonizer. Do you get what I mean? It's like, oh, where's your heritage? Like, oh, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that it's nicer than, because when you
I
say where
think
you
the
really
way
from,
the way she's talking, she's basically saying that you're not English.
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
but it's given it's got an undertone of like get out my country. Do you get what I mean? So they got to word it differently. I get the question. I can't lie to you.
And what I was going to say, do you think it's a bit harsh? She's 83. So you know what generation
yeah,
she's
fine.
from.
She says coloured people for sure. She definitely says coloured people.
So
So coloured.
putting that into context, yeah, is it racism?
I'll be honest with you. From a certain age, I don't have expectations of progressiveness from certain people. If someone 83 actually asked me that kind of question and that kind of line of question, that where you really from, I'm not saying that's racist.
I think people just need to learn their history and just ask them back, because I think because you could do exactly the same thing.
You actually can, because they're not all
Where
of them
are you
from?
from? They're gonna say I'm from. No.
Where you really
where are your people from? They're gonna chase it back. There's Anglo-Saxons. They come from Denmark or something like this. Or,
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm trying to say? That these are facts.
Yeah.
These are absolute facts. So you do the exact same thing. Now, where are you really from though? Because you're not from here.
Literally, it's just bus. You do it, I do it back. But I think, I do think from a certain age, that's not even racist though, in my opinion.
Okay.
It might be a bit ignorant to assume, because say for example, like obviously like Jamaicans who were here, like Windrush for example. If someone doesn't, so basically no, not even just Jamaicans. Sorry, take that back. If someone doesn't really know where they come from, like historic, like the ancestors or whatever, the line of, and because all this is all they've known.
Yeah.
It can be a bit ignorant to assume that everyone knows where they're from, or they've been back there, or they've lived there at some point. That can be ignorant. But I wouldn't say it's racist, because again, I can tell you're not white British.
I think it's just how they choose to use it, because obviously language and that's always important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like if you're, she's old, she's 83 as well, so there's definitely ignorance in there, and you can hear it, like, whatever. But I feel like if you are like weaponizing it, if that makes sense, like if you're being vindictive when you're asking the questions, then I suppose it speaks to the undertones of what you're saying. The racism is all in it, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? That if it's a genuine question about someone's heritage, then I suppose it's kind of right. Because like I said, I would ask.
I always ask that.
I ask that.
I always, because
Ask
you
the
know when you.
question. Especially any black people.
Yeah.
I'll ask them like, no, like where you.
But if you know with black people, what we do as well. If someone's like, oh, where you from? They'll be like, oh, area or like.
Yeah.
I would do that. I think with white people, it's just because like people are very used to get out of my country and you guys don't belong here. That's why I guess it's like your back is up when they ask you that. But again, I think maybe it's the wording. Maybe white people need to just be a bit considerate and understand that, okay, if people are always told they're not welcome here, when you ask them that, it makes them feel like as if you're trying to prove that they're not welcome here.
I'm trying to play it out now, yeah, because like I said, I don't take offense to it, yeah. But if someone like a white person asked me where I'm from, and I said, oh, Hackney, and they went, no, but where are you really from?
Yeah.
No, but it's the fact she kept saying never like where you really from. For me, it's the fact she said, I knew we'd get there in the end.
Do you know what's
How
funny to
mad that
me?
is?
She said, where in Africa are you from? Because I've been to France.
Yikes.
Yeah. She's like, you must know where you're from. I've spent time in France.
What's France got to do with Africa?
I was confused.
Actually, yeah, what's that?
She said you should be able to track your movements,
Yeah,
innit? I know.
basically.
What,
I
she
know. I
French?
was in France for a couple piece.
She better be French. That's why she brought France. She better be French. That's why she said it in France. Because what's that got to do with anything? It's wild. But again, even assuming that everyone comes from Africa, ma'am, everyone does.
There you go.
I think it's just ignorance to me. I wouldn't say it's racist. I think it's ignorance.
Do you feel as though it's also the person that was receiving this information? Because say you was in the same event,
Yeah.
and she asked you, "Where you from?" What would you say?
Oh, I rep Nigeria all the time, you know. When people ask me where I'm from, I'm like, I'm Nigerian.
That's what I'm saying. So
But I carry Nigeria in my head, though. Do you get what I mean? So, because I've met black people who, when I say where you from, they answer me area, where they live or where they grew up. They never really say like, like either Jamaica or Nigeria or whatever. They never do that.
I've got
default
default settings. Hackney, Jamaica. I do, but if I leave England, I say England now.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what's fucked
UK.
up.
Yeah.
If I'm in, England, you ask me where I'm from. I will tell you I'm Jamaican. I'm from Jamaica. This is what I would say.
Yeah.
If I leave England,
I say I'm
and you ask me where I'm from,
Listen.
I'm English.
Nigerians are what? You think I'm
makes
gonna
sense, though.
go on holidays? I'm Nigerian. Just get me out of that country quick. I never rep Nigeria outside of being in Nigeria. I promise you. I never ever say I am Nigerian when I go on holiday anywhere. They look at me like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I can't be somewhere talking about Jamaica. Like, they don't even get it. It's like, no, they just think it's trouble. This is wrong.
Exactly.
No. I ain't telling them, no, man's embassy's got power.
Mate.
You get me?
Nah, you're not gonna extradite me.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking, like I was saying, because it's like maybe, obviously not to put the onus on Miss Ngozi Fulani, right?
Yeah.
But it like obviously I'm assuming anyway she's been here for generations, right?
Yeah.
So like I think she even said it since like the 50s, right? Her parents came in
in the 50s.
Yeah.
She said,
So her mindset would be, I'm English or I'm
Yeah.
British, you know what I'm saying? So when you're asking me these type of questions, my only answer can be, I'm British, I'm English. So why do you keep asking me the same damn question? But with us,
Because the question was broad. You have to be, if you want to know someone's country of origin, just ask them. Be specific.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
but her country of origin in her mind would be English.
England.
Well, she's wrong.
But why? Why is she wrong?
Technically, it's
Because she's
split
black.
head. Yeah, but you said origin.
She
It depends on
originated
what. It depends on what she holds dear to her. But technically, she was born here, innit?
Use your noggin. You're black.
Because, no, but like, let's go into that bit, right? She's been here for like, I'm assuming minimum 3 generations, right? So she would know grandparents, all of them was born here, this, that, and that, or moved there,
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Why is she? Would it be wrong for her to say I'm English or to believe I'm English and British? And if it is wrong, why? Why is that wrong?
In my eyes, because she's black. Like, yeah, you're British because based on your nationality, but your heritage, you know, your DNA, you know what I mean, it's not from England. I'm not saying she's wrong for. This is not her problem. The problem is the question wasn't specific enough.
So that Ghanaian boy that was
example-
going around
for
on
example, how many
TikTok,
times-
the white boy, yeah. Are you saying he's not Ghanaian because he's white?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you seen them? The sister and the boy, and
Yeah.
and they're talking. They're just doing bare numbers. Everyone's going crazy because of the way they're talking, but they're Ghanaian.
Oh, I think
I've even seen a white guy as well who's Nigerian. He speaks, his Yoruba is flawless. Flawless. And he's like, I'm Nigerian. Because for him, it's like if my parents gave birth to me in Nigeria, this is all I've known.
Yeah.
Like I was born here, raised here.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
And he would have a
So I'm
Nigerian
Nigerian.
passport.
Yeah.
If she doesn't feel like she's African or Caribbean, I'm not sure where she's from. Where's she from? Africa.
I think,
Ngozi, yeah, she's Igbo.
Then she
I think she's Caribbean.
then she has-
but has adopted.
then she has the right to
so
answer
she
the
is, I'm
question.
not sure.
She has the right to answer the question in whatever way she sees fit. Like if she feels like she identifies with being British, then that's her answer.
I mean, I think, yeah.
Miss, what's her name, Miss Ladybird,
No, Lady Bird.
if she wants to dig deeper, then be specific.
I agree with that. I
Be
think if someone
specific.
gives you an answer,
Except
For
You have to
example,
accept it.
how many times have you asked a girl where you from, and she'll say, "Where are you talking about? Are you talking about country? Or are you talking about where do I live?" Because I wasn't specific.
yeah.
Because some people don't take where you're from to mean where do you live or what
where'd
country are you from.
yeah,
You got to be
where'd your
specific.
ancestors from?
But funny enough, though, you know what? Sorry, caller, 1 second, yeah. I remember back in the day.
No, it's all right.
That's Tariq, innit?
Tariq.
Oh,
back-
fucking hell, like, you guys fucking recognise my fucking voice now.
Rubbish your
You
voice,
have
bro.
to change your accent, mate.
It's racism. I remember remember like there's one Nigerian girl that I met whatever. Obviously she had a Yoruba name.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, oh, where you from? So I'm from here, innit? I was like, no, like Nigeria. I said, oh yeah, Nigerian. Where in Nigeria? I don't know. So what do you mean you don't know?
Sometimes people don't know.
I said, I don't know. Why do you expect me to know, man? I'm from here. I was like, what?
Because I've asked people, what country are you from? So
Yeah.
I'm specific.
You're specific.
I'm not always like asking broad questions. Like, where are you from? They're like, oh, what do you mean? Where do I live? Or, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be specific.
But you know that even with that girl though, if she's been born and raised here and she's never been back, for example, and her parents don't talk about like the roots, she wouldn't know.
It's true, but I guess maybe I'm projecting my experience.
Because you know, yeah.
Because I'm just thinking like your mum wasn't born here. I'm assuming
she may not know. Like for example, there's tons of Americans who don't know their heritage, innit? But they know that they're black.
Yeah.
So you may not be inquisitive enough to care or to find out your heritage, but you know that you're black. So therefore, even if you're asked, oh, where are you from? I'm American, I'm this, whatever. When someone's probing you, you're probing for a reason. So it's like, oh, okay, you're asking me where I'm from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I see it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Tariq.
Morning, Tariq.
Morning, guys. You're right, yeah?
I name actually. I name my son that. How are
Yeah,
you?
good. Thanks. How are you?
Go on. Yes. Like, is that Esther like claiming me, yeah? Go on. Nah, do you know what, yeah? Like, this is yeah, like, you know, this topic here is mad, you know? Because, like, obviously, like, do you know what, like, actually, like, let me mention a little thing yesterday, yeah? Remember when I called in yesterday? And, like, Yusuf was like, oh, yeah, like, is that me, like, trying to get, like, my Muslim, like, names, like, wrong and that, yeah? Like, this kind of, like, links to it, you know? Because, like, with me, and like, I'm half Somali, quarter Eritrean, like, quarter Bajan.
Okay.
But, like, I haven't seen my dad, like, since I was, like, 1 year old. 1 year old. Do you know what I mean? So that part of, like, Somali, like, I've never kind of really, like, related to it and anything like that, yeah?
Okay.
But, like, growing up and stuff like that, like, so when people say to me, like, oh, yeah, like, so where you from, like, I'm like, yeah, like, oh, yo, like, I'm from Birmingham, innit? And they're like, but where are you really from? Like, I'm just like, well, like, I'm black, innit? Like, so, like, Africa. Do you know what I mean? But, like, it kind of goes both ways because, like, I've, like, you know my mum, yeah, bless her soul, and like, but, like, she always used to kind of, like, push me to kind of get into, like, my, like, Somali side of things, and it, like, and then I always used to kind of do it, like, and then, like, but they always never used to accept me, and it, like, because, like, they used to kind of, even from a young age.
So your Somali side never accepted you?
Nah, never. Bruv, like, they used to say things like from a young age, you know, like, this is, like, from, like, when I was, like, 9, 10 years old, yeah? And they'd be like, yeah, you Somali, innit? But you're not, like, pure blood. I'm like, pure fucking what? Do you know what I mean? So now, like...
Super Saiyan thing.
Huh?
Pure blood Saiyan.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm mad.
Yeah,
do you not think then? Do you not think everybody should have the right to choose? Then it's not about you can't put your opinion on somebody else. Yeah, if someone was born here and they see themselves as English, British, or whatever, like you can't. It's not your place to even question that. You can't take that from them. If they're born here and they're a citizen, it is what it is. If someone wants to look deeper into it and say, no, well, I'm born here, but I know what my heritage is, and I'm African, I'm Nigerian, I'm Ghanaian, I'm Jamaican, whatever. That's also their right and their prerogative to stand on. I think it changes within the individual. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Obviously, no other white people ever can't tell you who you are and what you are and whatnot. Like, no one, if you're born here, no one can't tell you you're not English or you're not British. The way this country's made up anyway. You get what I'm trying to say?
Exactly, man. And this is the thing, yeah. Like, so, like, I feel like, do you know, like, where you're born, and like that is like, so, you know, I feel like a lot of the time, yeah, like, what people do not fucking understand is like your nationality and your ethnicity, yeah, like it's completely different.
Yep, facts.
That's what I mean. Like, so nationality-wise, like I'm fucking British, like I'm fucking English, like I'm like in Birmingham, like I'm like from like the deepest like ends, like, do you know what I mean? Like I'm from fucking Smethwick. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Where
but-
that is.
Is this the same Tariq?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never noticed the Brum accent until right now.
No way.
Really?
No.
That's why I was like, if he doesn't want us to recognize him, he's gonna have to switch it up.
I always thought Tariq sounded like he's from England. Not England, sorry.
Wait, whoa.
Like,
Whoa.
sorry, like
Wait there.
like sorry, London. I meant to say London. Calm down, man. Why are you so jumpy? I meant to say London. This is slip
This
of the
is
tongue.
Friday. This is Mark's. This
Sorry,
is Friday.
Tariq. London is what I meant to say. Look at this guy, bro.
fucking London, man.
I should always
Like,
thought he was from
No,
England.
no, I've never heard the Brum twang until just now, until today. I'm like, this is the same Tariq from yesterday.
No. You know what it is? You're like,
Our Bayesian side. You need to stop this. I tell you that. There's no point saying Jamaican and Bayesian because they're the same thing.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Get your mic up, please.
What?
nah, like you see, like
It's like Eritrean and
like,
Somalian.
I get what you
Said
mean,
thing.
innit? Like,
You don't think I'm
Wait,
joking. when I
sorry,
say
sorry,
that.
sorry,
Wow.
Tariq. This is Bear Cross talking. Sorry, Tariq, go on.
no, go on.
No, go on.
Yeah, like, so, like, obviously, like, you know, like my Brummy accent, like, it's different, any like, so I obviously, like, I travel a lot, any like, with work and stuff, yeah, so I can kind of, like, my accent, like, depends on, like, where I am, like, honestly, like, I can be, like, say, like, in, like, Brussels, yeah, and then I've got, like, a different accent, like, when I come back, and then all my boys will be like, bro, like, why do you sound like this? Do you know what I mean? Like, so
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
I
This
can
is
understand.
this is the first time you've gone into your Brum bag on the phone with us. Am I lying?
I've always heard it though.
I've heard it, always.
Because like even though like for example saying like after every like other word, you ain't done that before.
I definitely noticed that
Oh,
one
no,
today.
bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Bro,
Saying
Bro, I
something
do
like
that
something
all the
like.
time.
Is it?
I do that all the time, bro.
I haven't heard it. Anyway,
It's a
this
new
is me.
day. It's a new day.
Yeah, I do that all the time. But yeah, my point though is obviously like ethnicity like and nationality is completely different anyway. Like. And at the end of the day, like I obviously like I don't know, like if somebody do you know the maddest thing though, yeah? If somebody was to ask me, so where you from? Straight away I know exactly where they're trying to go with it. But like
Does that depend on the person asking you that? Is the person white or black? Or
Yeah,
is that
I
anybody?
think it depends on where you're. Like for example, back in the day on the ends, when someone says, "Where you from?" They're not asking you what country you're from. They're asking you wherever you're from. You know what I mean? So it depends who's asking it. It depends on the tone,
Okay,
delivery. Like this for me, what's his name? Lady Bird.
Hussey.
Lady Hussey.
No, let's go Lady Bird. I like that.
Like there's some racial undertones there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The delivery and the context in which you're asking me.
But then
And the amount of times you're probing. Just ask me, nigga. What was I about to say? N-word.
to be
What
fair,
country?
like,
What country are you from, or what's your heritage? What's your lineage?
but do
You
you
know what I
think
mean?
though that we think racism because it's a white person?
I don't think it's racist for a white person to ask me
Where you
what country I'm
really
from.
from?
That's a basic question. What,
but like
is
when
it
they're
because
like-
I'm black, I should be offended by her asking me what country am I from?
No, like you see the line of questioning. No, but what country you from is direct.
Yeah.
What country you from? That's all
Yeah,
right.
that's
country,
But it's
innit?
like you say to them, "Oh, I'm British."
Yeah.
But where you really from?
Yeah, yes,
I'm
I'm saying.
British. No, where you
That's
really
what I'm saying.
from?
That's what I'm saying. Tone, delivery,
yeah, but you know,
all of that.
Esther though, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's never like what country you're from. It's always like, oh, so where you really from? Where you from? And like, you know what? Like that question like goes for like white people and black people as well. Because white people, when they ask that question, yeah, it's more like, but like, are you really British?
Where's your people from?
Yeah, exactly. But then again, like when it comes to like black people, it's always like, oh, like so where you really from? And like I get some people like that are like Nigerian, or like Ghanaian, or like from other places, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, yeah, like I'm more Ghanaian or like Nigerian, like more than you. Do you know what I mean? Like, so who are you to ask me that question?
Do you know? I really think it's such a subjective thing, you know. Because I'm thinking even when white people ask me, like, oh, where you from? Nigerian, baby. Again, in this country.
To be fair,
of course.
when white people ask me where I'm from, I'm assuming they ask me what country I'm from.
Yeah, I don't assume they care. They don't care where I'm from.
If they say where do you live, It's about words, isn't it? Where do you live?
Yeah.
I live in East London. Where
And
you
they do be
where are
saying
you
that, actually.
from?
Yeah.
From to me means what country are you from? Live
Yeah.
means obviously where do you live right now?
And this is what I'm trying
But
to say.
then,
Is it
but
because of
Yusuf
our
though,
thing?
Yusuf though, like you was born here though, innit?
Yeah.
So exactly, like so, like when somebody says like where you from, like I'm from the UK.
But you know what it is? Because
I
I'm
never do that.
you know what it is? Because I'm in the UK at present.
Yeah.
To me, it's like it makes sense. Like I'm here, so you can't be asking me that because I'm in the UK.
But I think it's more than that. But I think because at home, in our homes, it's like being in Nigeria. So we that's what we are.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like Tariq is saying, he doesn't know his Somali side.
Yeah.
He doesn't know maybe the other side or certain things, right?
Yeah.
So he's just thinking Britain. You see what I'm saying?
If he was entrenched in Somali culture
that's what he's
when he
gonna-
went
yeah.
home, he would say he's Somalian.
Exactly.
No, you know what I'm saying. What I mean is, for example, like you said, if I was abroad
Yeah.
and someone asked me, "Oh, where are you from?" It's more so, "Oh, what country am I from?" Innit? If me and you are both in London and you ask me where I'm from, then I'm assuming you're asking me what country am I from because it's easy to assume that I'm gonna think you're asking me my nationality because I'm in Britain right now.
Exactly. And but it's also because your default is like you're from Nigeria.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Miss Ngozi now, she's three generations at least, I'm assuming, right? From the UK.
Yeah.
So she's not gonna think, oh, I'm Jamaican.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm thinking. Is it down to who was receiving this information?
I
These
think
questions.
because even listening to Tariq is interesting.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't have obviously it's an assumption I'm making, but I wouldn't have thought Tariq thinks of it in the way he thinks of it. Do you get what I mean? But that's because I think of it the way I think of it. If you ask me where I'm from, I automatically just say Nigeria. I never say my
Yeah.
area because then you just
Yeah.
ask me, like you said, where do you live? But I do think it is
I know.
the person
Yeah,
receiving
but,
it
you know,
and it's the person receiving the story as well.
Yeah, but Esther though, like you can't you've had like a time where like you grew up in like Nigeria, like a bit of your life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't grow
So
up in Nigeria.
You can kind of relate to it a bit more.
you're like
whereas me,
pro-black,
yeah,
innit?
like, huh?
I don't think that.
Do you know what? I really think it's an individual thing, you know, because I'll be honest, so there's some girl I know, I can't really bear up her just in case she watches this, but I remember when I met her like years ago, and I was like, oh, like, where are you from? And I meant your country of origin kind of thing. And she's like, oh, I'm British. I said, no, where are you from? First of all, anyway, she's egg because that's your nationality. But I was like, where are you from? And she's like, I'm British. Brent, over there. So yeah, I was like, where are you from? And she's like, oh, I'm British.
Talk in.
But do you get what I mean? So even then, I was just like, yeah, like that. I was shy for her. Do you get what I mean? So I think I do think it's a personal thing because I am proudly like Nigerian. I'm proudly African. I'm African before anything else. And I think you're the same way. So I think when we meet people who will claim Britain before they claim their country of origin, so don't be silly, man. You know what I'm talking about. But really, that's how they identify.
That person that you're talking
Yeah,
about.
like,
What country are they from?
literally.
She's flipping
literally,
Nigerian,
yeah.
the egg. Piss me off.
Tariq, this is your last question. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Like, no, let's
Aggressive.
Esther though, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I get exactly what you mean because like you would never find somebody that's like more like pro-black, more black like African. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, yeah, like when I get asked that question, yeah, I'm like, I'm fucking British. Like, do you know what? Like, I'm like.
Do you know what? I know. Sorry,
I
I'm
was
not
born
Brent.
here and now. Like, I get that, yeah. But at the same time, like, if you was to ask me that question, my first answer would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Birmingham."
Can I ask a question? Sorry,
But-
Tariq.
Yeah, go on.
Why is that? Like, why is it that when someone asks you that, why is it that you react in the way you do? Like, why do you kind of take offense to that?
To be fair, like it depends on like who it's coming from. If it's
Okay.
coming from like an actual black, like a white person, yeah,
Yeah.
I already know like what they're kind of thinking. Like, is like,
Okay.
oh yeah, like so where you really from?
Yeah.
Like I get that, and and then I'll just be like, yeah, like I'm African, and like, but when it comes from a black person, yeah, like it's almost like maybe like I'm kind of putting a lot on when it comes to like the fact that like I don't feel accepted like in
Overcompensating.
Not even that. I
So
think
wait
it's PTSD.
Is it just
like,
then,
yeah,
is it
I
just a
feel
problem that they're asking because they're white then? Because when
no,
when
no,
I
no.
ask it, I'm asking with the same intentions that they are.
No. So he's
There's
saying
no like whatever the undertone is that you're saying. I'm asking with the same ones. Like when I'm
Yeah.
saying no,
Yeah.
where you really, it's this. I'm speaking to
Yeah.
the same shit that they are.
No, but wait, Mark, sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tariq,
Listen,
but he's saying
I
for
don't-
him,
I
he
don't
feels
have
it
an
more
issue.
when it's black people asking him. Because again, if you remember, he said how when he was younger, he wasn't accepted by his community.
Yeah.
So I think that when black people ask him, because he said when white people ask him, he knows where they're going with it. So he tells them where they're going. But
Yeah.
if it's a black person asking him,
Yeah.
he already has like his defense up. So I think that comes from the fact that when you were younger or like when you're in school and stuff, you were questioned about where you're really from. Do you get what I mean? So I think it's more of like a defense.
Yeah,
A defense thing.
I think it is because if a stranger walks up to you, doesn't know you from Adam, and asks you where you're from, they're not doing it to a black person. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not meant to be taken offensively.
Yeah.
It's just they're literally asking, "Oh, what country are you from?"
Yeah, I think it's PTSD from that.
No, like, yeah, like, you know what? Yeah, like, yeah, Esther, like, I agree with you there. Like, it's probably like PTSD, and like,
Yeah.
but like, when a black person asks me, like, oh, like, yo, like, so, like, where are you actually from? I'm like, bro, like, I'm from Birmingham, you know. And then like, they're like, yeah, but really though, like, I'm like, and then like they try to question me more, yeah, and I'm like,
You know what? That's
Oh,
to
like,
me. That's a bad use of the English language, man. These are very easy questions to ask, bruv. Just use the correct words. Or even, oh, where you from? And the person answers Birmingham. Oh, where your parents from? Like, just use
Yeah,
the correct words
yeah.
to get the answer
Yeah,
you
where
want.
you really from?
Because you can
Use
answer,
the
okay,
flick of
cool.
the
You
lip.
ask someone where they're from, a black person, right?
Yeah.
And they give you the wrong answer in your mind. Oh, I'm from Birmingham, whatever. So now I've ascertained that you don't get the question.
Yeah, so
So
now I
now
will phrase
I'm
the
going to
question.
say, oh, where your parents from? That's going to give me my answer
Yeah.
that I want.
Yeah.
It's not because if they don't know that you're talking about heritage or background, then they're gonna say, "Oh no, my parents are from Coventry."
No,
And then you don't get your answer.
Then you, sir, lack what?
Common sense, good thinking.
No, comprehension.
like,
You're
like,
not
Yusuf,
insane.
like,
No, but do you know what? Can
At
I
all.
just say something? Yeah. But the thing is, again, if you apply that same line of questioning to Miss Ngozi now,
Yeah.
her parents will be from Britain.
So let's let Tariq go. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
we kept you waiting.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tariq.
no, to be fair, like, I need to start. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
That's fine.
Are you sure it's the same Tariq?
No, like,
This Tariq is giving me different vibes.
Doppelganger.
no, it is, man, like, because you know, like, sometimes, like, my son, like, listens to this and it, like, so I don't want to swear, really.
Oh,
But yeah, like, but at the end of the day, like, you know, even like what Yusuf said in it, like, oh, like, so, like, where are your parents from? Like, do you know how hard it is for me to answer that? Like, I'm just like, yeah, like, from, like, Somalia, Eritrea, like, and then, like, fucking Barbados. Again, I swore, Jesus.
yeah.
But-
I really think it depends on each person, you know.
Yeah, and even with the way these aisles are set up here, I'd be more prepared to take on British status than English.
Huh?
Yeah,
okay,
British,
Yeah,
Wait, what's that?
I'd prefer that. I'd rather like take on if it's like to say like I'm British. I'm from Great Britain because obviously I understand how the aisles is all made up, all different
Yeah.
shit. I'd rather say I'm British than to say I'm English. I'd probably
We're
feel
not
a bit-
English, though, are we?
Well, I'm not as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, exactly.
Even a lot of the English ain't English, so
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. Well, no one over here
Nobody
is what they're
is.
supposed to be anyway. This is what people keep
Queen
missing.
was German, was
it's
she, or something
this
like
ain't
that?
black people. This ain't just black people. This is white people. Nobody
Yeah,
over
nobody's
here
here.
is supposed to be over or what
Nobody
they say
goes
they are.
here.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
you, like so I don't know. But like I said, yeah, but the British thing I could probably take to more. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, honestly, like, as soon as that question gets answered, then, like, I always go, like, yeah, like, obviously, like, I'm British, and like, I'm like, where you from? Like, oh, Birmingham. Like, that's where I go to, and they're like, oh, like, yeah, but really, like, I'm like, yeah, Smevik. Like, I go deeper in Birmingham. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, like, but, like, I don't, like, when I start to kind of, like, notice, like, especially, like, if it's a black person, like, and then they're like, yeah, but where really though? Like, I'm like, oh, like, and I say it, I'm like, oh, right. And
Yeah,
then,
I mean-
like, I'm like, but wait,
Yo,
but where
Tariq,
you from?
I
Like,
don't
and then,
like how easy disrespect to me, to be honest. So like 10 minutes ago, I said you had one more thing to say, and you said, I don't appreciate that, you know.
yo, Bren,
I don't appreciate
listen,
that,
yeah. Bren, my bad, any like. To be fair, like, I start working in 1 minute, any like. So I'm bouncing, yeah. But yeah, yo, listen, Brent, I wasn't trying to disrespect you, man.
No,
Come on.
It's all right.
Come
I
off
forgive
it.
you. I forgive you. It's always love. It's always love. Thank you very
Alright,
much.
bless you, yeah?
Thank you
Alright,
for
man.
calling
Thanks
in.
for
Yeah.
calling, man.
Bless you.
That wasn't Tariq, man. That was Tariq's variant. This is multiverse.
No, the variant.
man.
This is variant, bro.
You still hate, though.
I wanted him to hear that. You ain't who you really
I
are.
thought you gone to me.
I didn't hang up yet, you know,
Okay.
like. Variant.
Nigga, get off the
You
line.
don't know where that red button is.
Alright, see you later.
Alright, tweet, man. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but I think all in all, it just comes down to whoever's receiving, and obviously everyone's got their own story. So if you're someone who you've been questioned, because you hear people a lot say about how when they go back home, people are like you're not Nigerian enough, for example.
That's true, yeah.
And then when you're here, you're not British enough. So I guess it's different for each person. But even like with Nigeria, when people ask me where in Nigeria I'm from, it's always the older generation. They love that one. Because I'm Nigerian, Yoruba, they're like, yeah, but where are you really from? I'm like, ma'am, let's not do all of that. But even that, like, I don't have much information about where I'm from. As in, like, obviously, you know the way it goes. You're from where your father is from.
Yeah.
The man not around to explain where he's from. So I say to where my mum is from. But if where my mum is from, I don't have much knowledge on that. So I just keep it simple. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's just complicated depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
See, if you're Jamaican, there's ways around that. You don't need to know nothing. You can just throw people off with, Gaza. Gaza, we say. Yeah, all right. They just got to take that. they just got to run with that.
Can I ask you guys, because obviously we're kind of saying, it seems, anyway, correct me if I'm wrong.
Can I say that? It's actually nice to have you back here leading this because, boy, we were doing what the heck we wanted to do. You were doing ridiculous.
Topics of the day are different about you.
Listen, topic of the day when you're here is actually topic of the day. When he's here, we're running vibes.
He's at home watching it going, no!
There was one day in particular I said, nah, Iman is fuming. And I was like, I knew he was going to come back and do a part 2 because we didn't touch nothing he talked about. Love it, man. Love it. Yeah, sorry, your question?
I was going to say, obviously, it seems like we're kind of saying it's not necessarily racism, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think we're kind of missing something? And the reason why I say this is because of this, right? Spokesperson for Prince William said, racism has no place in our society. The comments were unacceptable. And it is right that the individual has stepped aside with immediate effect. Piers Morgan was talking about the same thing, saying this is racist, this and a third. White people are saying it's racist.
Because they know that she's racist.
Sorry, I have a question.
I mean,
Piers was, what people was talking about this woman, what she was saying.
Yeah.
because they know.
She had to step down from something.
The 83-year-old.
Yeah, she's
She was working at 83. That's what I'm focused on.
She was like the Queen's like right hand.
Yeah, they know
Or like
her.
bestie or like on a payroll.
Am I lying?
I think both.
Must do.
No, they know her and they know that she's racist.
At the age of 83.
Yeah.
This country's trying to kill people, you know.
Where was this
83 years
where
old.
did this conversation take place?
At an event in the palace, I believe, and her charity was invited.
So it was like in a public forum, people saw it, or was it a
Yeah,
private
but you know when
conversation?
you're just going around each other, maybe networking, things of that nature.
So what, did she whistleblow it or something? Or
Yeah, I think so.
Do you know what it is as well, though? I think people just don't take to the royal family. They just, anything the royal family does is automatic race. I don't know if you guys saw the video of Camilla when she held that black kid like this.
Oh, was it? I didn't see that.
So funny. I don't know. I'm laughing. Sorry.
Oh, is
But
that
she-
the one in the nursery?
Yeah, but the thing is that when you actually watch the video, someone basically just cut up literally like a couple seconds of that. She actually didn't hold a kid like she didn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I think when people just see royal
No,
family,
no,
they're like, oh, it's racist.
No, don't fight for that. That snippet was enough.
No, watch the full video. No, you have to watch the full video.
Okay, but why'd she do that?
Because the kid was dragging her, but the kid didn't want her touching her.
Yeah, but it was giving.
No. The kid was moving. The kid was,
You know what I mean?
she was trying to like be friendly with the kid, and the girl was just like, nah, I don't like you, kind of vibe. But it was just like I don't know. It wasn't as it seemed because I thought she literally was like, oh hey little girl, kind of thing. But it wasn't like that when I watched the full video. But I think people just
That
see
woman's a
royal
racist.
family because there was a whole hashtag going on about royal racists or racist royals or something like that. Do you get me? But I think when people hear the royal family, it's just they don't help themselves. And when you know they asked how dark Meghan's baby was going to be, I believe that was who was the king at the moment.
it's because they're the monarchy, yeah.
I think
It's
it was
because they're royalty, yeah. And it's been the way they've lived for however long, yeah. Their whole bloodline, their whole lineage has been like this, yeah. So they have not been like they're not the people in it. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, the life that they lived is totally different to ours. Like their whole setup's been like this from the beginning of time.
Or whenever, yeah.
So they're not so they're not even making the changes that the rest of the world are making, if that makes sense. The world's growing, and you get what I'm trying to say. They're not doing all of that because they're in their bubble. So when you see them, Prince Charles or King Charles or whoever it is, and you look at him now, yeah, that could be bloody Henry VIII. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And obviously, we know the sentiments of them times there, so that's why we just associate them with the same, because it's old school.
But
and
you know
old
what, I
school
think-
everything was racist. You get what I'm trying to say?
But you know, I think I would respect that, yeah, if they didn't address things if they didn't address the progression in society, because they claim that they're progressing with society. Every speech they get to do in public, whether it's the Queen doing her yearly speech. Oh, we're gonna have the King this year. I still can't believe we have. Anyway, whatever. Sorry. But yeah, so every time they get to address the public, they talk about how, you know, they're here for society progressing and blah blah. So when you then hear these things, it's like you claim so much that you're progressing with society. Why are you moving like this? But to be honest, anyway, I find that whole family weird because when they do the whole Commonwealth thing, and I know people are trying to welcome them into their country and they're dancing for them, but it's giving dance for Massa. And I personally, I've never really subscribed to all of that. So when I hear these things, it's not that shocking to me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so last question, yeah, just to round up, yeah. Is it racism?
No, I think
No?
it's ignorance.
Okay.
I don't think it's racism. I don't think it's racism. There's obviously there's something in there.
Undertones, but
Okay. Because my question was going to be basically, is this racism guilty by ignorance or guilty by malice? Or is it not racism at all?
you know it's a sprinkle of both. Because deep down, I know they don't like black people. I know she's thinking, how dare you claim this land? You know, you don't even go here. It's difficult. But I do think there is a sprinkle of... Because you know what's mad about white people asking, or Caucasians asking you where you're from? There's never anything substantial, there's never anything significant that follows on from it.
So
just
the
asking,
only
that's
reason,
it.
the only reason why they don't have the right to ask is the color of their skin, and this is what we're saying. Because does that make sense?
And the history.
Did you say the history too? No, because if we ask each other, it's fine. We're saying it's fine. There's no undertones.
I think that they have a right to ask, but why are you asking? Like, where is this question leading to?
Because you know
Why
what,
would
when I ask...
it's information.
No, but when I ask a black person, it's like, for me, it's like a way of us connecting. It's a form of connecting. For me, I feel like when they ask, it's a way of separating. Do you get what I mean? Not separating, like, you know, you're over there, but it's...
Everybody wants information. You're not going to do nothing with the
reaffirming-
information, but when we meet each other, I
You're
want to
not
know. I would ask you where you're
Not
from.
really.
where
I
you
don't really ask black guys where they're from.
I think most people want to know if his man's African man. I want to know if he's Nigerian,
I always wanna
Ghanaian,
know,
and I don't know why I want to know because I'm not going to do nothing with the
I'm just
information.
curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you just want to know. You know
But
what I'm
again, do you know
trying
what
to say?
is that? Do you know
No,
what
I
it
hear you. I'm saying I don't really ask niggas.
Brent, how often do people talk to you? And maybe it's because of your accent. But you probably hear something about Trinidad every day. I lie?
Yeah, but that's because of the accent, though.
Maybe it is, but still though, there's just curiosities behind it. People want to know where people are,
But do you know
from.
what? Do you know what it is? That I honestly think that a lot of the reason why people feel the way they feel uneasy when it's asked, is again, it's the history. You can't ignore that. It's the history. It's how people live today. Do you get me? If someone's had a racist encounter, like people have had racist encounters this year. I have. Do you get what I mean? So when you then have someone, it's difficult to just think that this is just you wanting to bond and just get to know me better because there's never any really follow up from there. Like I'll be like, oh, I'm Nigerian. Oh, that's nice. I went to Jamaica last year. Okay, girl.
But that's
great.
a bit of an extreme one, right? And the reason why I say this is because, again, to wrap up, do you feel like it's also dependent on the setting? Because again, like look at this this function that was held at the palace. Charities are there. I'm assuming this charity probably helps black people do certain things. Is it wrong for her to ask that? You know what I'm saying? Or not even wrong, but obviously it'll be linked to what this woman is doing.
Do you know where I think she went wrong? Is probing.
Okay.
I think when the woman said, this is where I'm from, I'm British, she could have said, like Yusuf said, clarified, oh, like, what country are you from? But I think, and she didn't do that, so that's like, okay. But then the fact that you've asked her again, no, where you really from? And she says, I'm British, should have left it. But when you keep probing, and then the girl then has to then figure out what it is that you really mean, and then says which one, you're like, I knew we get there in the end.
Yeah.
Lady.
It's weird because we can't speak to what people's intentions are, what's in their heart, innit? And that's what it probably is. It's down to the intentions, like what you just saying. It's like the why. Because I don't think there's nothing wrong in the question, but then when you start getting to the why, and everybody will have a different reason, a different motive for that, innit? Why was she asking that? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, she wasn't trying to connect or trying to find something better on a deeper level. She was probably trying to create some kind of separation. I can't speak for her in it, but I think that's what it will probably boil down to, the why. You get me? What are your reasons behind you asking these questions? The question in itself is a pretty fair question, I think.
I think her closing with, I knew we'd get there in the end.
Yeah.
That says separation. That says like wanting to make it known that you're not really from here.
You're not one of me. You're
not one of me, and you've been in you've been in the setting. Like this is something like, you know what, sometimes, because sometimes a lot of Caucasians have this white savior complex thing. So it's that so we help people from this land. Do you get me? You get to add it to your CV of the people that you donated for in charity. Do you get me? So that, I knew we'd get there in the end. That was always, it was just for self-satisfaction.
This is one of the countries we colonized.
Yes.
We've given this person a platform. Like, you would never have thought you'd be in the palace one day. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly. Because if she goes on to tell the story, she's not going to go and say, I met this lovely British lady in Ngozi, blah, blah.
Yeah.
She's going to go and say, this lady who does this charity, she's from where does the government say she's from in the end? Let's just say Nigeria, for example. She's like, she's from Nigeria. I help this Nigerian woman come in. Do you get me? That's what is then gonna be. It's never a case of. It's just that, I think for them, it's just to add on their CV. It's just to look, better.
I think it's a good point that Ebony has made in the comment section.
Okay.
She said she moved her locks to the side to check her name tag.
What?
Do you know what that is?
What? The woman touched her to move her locks?
Are you serious?
She moved the locks to the side because obviously they had the either it was a lanyard or was a name tag, right?
Yeah.
She moved the locks to the side to check.
Oh yeah, if she touched her dreads, then that's racism.
Did that really happen though?
Yes.
This is what she said. This is what the
Flick a hand
woman
quickly.
said.
Yeah, she touched her dreads.
People.
If she touched her dreads, that changed the whole context of the situation.
You know, even that, she's saying, look at your hair, ma'am. You're not British.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
Wish your bitch would touch my hair. Last hair she touches, boy.
Yeah,
Saying hello to Elizabeth in person.
Definitely racism in that one.
Mate, definitely.
So you think this validates Megan's claims that they were racist?
Oh, absolutely. Megan's can be invited. From when Megan said it, I said Megan's right. I don't have any proof or anything, but Megan's right.
I don't know what Megan expected, because Megan ain't supposed to be there. Everybody, I don't know if you clocked or you realised. I don't know if anybody noticed, but Megan ain't supposed to be in that building. Yeah, in any way they treated her. Yeah, if she didn't expect it, she crazy. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. Yeah. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying. You get me? I don't care about none of Megan's grabs. Everything she's saying about what she, of course. Yeah. But you know, I'm supposed to be there.
Sometimes you're blinded by love, man.
What?
You're blinded by love. Had the red flags being missed.
Yeah, but man. I mean, she should have done more due diligence, if you ask me. But I was gonna say, do you feel as though black people sometimes, I'm not saying we shouldn't. Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. But do you feel as though black people sometimes are reaching when it comes to racism?
Oh, every day on Beyonce's internet, I'm seeing people reaching like. The reaches some of you be doing, I think sometimes people do reach. The reach is mad. It's a leap. It's wild.
Yeah, because of the way the internet's set up, like, everybody's dying for racism every day.
Dying for it, even when it's not there.
They're trying to take it out of every crevice, every corner. They're really trying to
clean them up.
Yeah. They're dying for racism.
Dying for it.
For
It's
just
ridiculous.
controversy. You know what I'm trying to say? That they want it. You know what I'm trying to say? So they be looking at it in places where it's not there, or if they're grey areas, they just colour it black.
I block people for that though. No bad vibes. I don't need that on my timeline. If you're out here reaching for stuff that doesn't even exist, nah, man. Blocker. Well, I think sometimes we do reach.
But what's the need? Because my thing is this, right? If racism is really as rampant as it is, why do we need to start finding stuff? Surely it will just be here.
But you know what it is, Eman, though? People love to complain.
Facts.
People, as much as people be like, I want my circumstances to change. If your circumstances change, you'll be bored. You have nothing to do. Do you get me? People love a complaint. And the thing with British culture, it is in us to complain. Even when the sun is shining, it's too hot. When it's raining, it's raining.
British
when it's
people
cold,
love to complain.
They love a complaint. So and the thing is, it's passed down. Complaints knows no ethnicity.
Bounds,
no bounds. He doesn't know black, white, Asian. Complaint just exists. So that's the thing, because when people reach, I'm like, how did you even get there? Like, but I do think a lot of people just need to breathe. Some people just love it, man.
It's sad because you're not allowed to say nothing. Do you think that do you think that the attitudes towards this kind of stuff will change, or is it just gonna get worse and worse and worse to where you just can't say anything? Like, can't have an opinion, can't have a conversation in public, can't say nothing? Or is it gonna get to a point where it's like everyone's like, all right, cool, let's stop being stupid now, and then we could just revert back
I don't
to
think there's enough of us saying let's stop being stupid. I think there's more stupid people making noise. I told you the other day someone coined a term on the timeline talking about birthday misogyny because people want their birthday to be all about them. It's my birthday. Do you get what I mean? So I think we're really in a place where there's gonna get to a time when we're never gonna be able to say like, "Are you black?" It's like, oof. Why'd you just assume I'm black? Bitch, you are. Because you're black.
I see that happening.
Do you get what I mean? I think honestly, the way we are, like I know there's people who, when there are actual evident like homophobia or racism or all these actual hate situations, like, oh, you guys are sensitive about everything. I know there's people like that. However, people that are really, really sensitive about everything, that you can't just assume that they're black. Why do you assume I'm black? What if I'm just tanned? I don't know, man. I just think our ancestors are shaking in the grave. Like, it's not what they fought for, but there we are.
Well, I guess that's the end of topic of the day.
Right, okay. Let's get into our next headlines.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Manuel.
Hello. Manuel.
You should watch me when I do it, because I take a steady pause, compose myself.
Yeah, you leave
Then
a
go.
big gap.
I was going to say it's because you looked at your iPad, but okay. I forget your password. Talking about I take a break.
You think I got a password on it?
Don't say that.
Max, I think you're doing well so far, you know.
In what sense?
The fact that you're not even here.
Ah,
You're looking at the doc.
You're fooling us. You're fooling us. Real well.
I'm like, I'm here, but I'm not her. Okay.
I just cracked. I even said this.
No, you didn't. Do you know when you put that down? I clocked when you put it from the intro. You introduced yourself and you said it to the side and you haven't picked it up since. Fair enough, Mugs. We're on holiday with you. Don't worry. We are there with you.
Hey, he's running through Burner's song in his head. You know?
Listen, I'm rehearsing lyrics.
Listen, I've had to go back, and play the songs
Just
I'm not
in
too
case-
familiar
Oh,
with.
yeah.
So when they show me up when they come on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
No, you're the best person ever. Don't you ever change. Not for
trying,
a
man.
damn second. Legend.
So, Rishi Sunak has accused Keir Starmer of attacking aspiration as they clashed over plans to scrap tax breaks for private schools. So in brutal exchanges at the PMQs, the Labour leader launched a barrage of personal jibes at Mr. Sunak, demanding to know why his old public school, Winchester, receives taxpayer subsidies. He insisted the funding should instead go towards driving up standards in places like Southampton, which is Mr. Sunak's hometown. But the PM shot back that Labour was against the hard-working aspirations of millions and said that the government was improving the education system for everyone. Labour confirmed at the weekend that Sir Keir would retain Jeremy Corbyn's policy of scrapping private schools' charitable status, which exempts them from VAT. They also pay lower business rates. However, critics argue that the move will put up to 200 sites at risk of going bust because of families being priced out and leaving, while the state sector would struggle to pick up the slack. Opening the hostilities at a rowdy PMQ session, Sir Keir said, Winchester College has a rowing club, a rifle club, an extensive art collection. They charge over 45k a year in fees. Why did he hand them over £6 million of taxpayers' money this year in what his Levelling Up Secretary Michael Gove calls egregious state support? Mr. Sunak responded, I'm pleased he wants to talk about schools because we have recently announced billions more funding for our schools. We're helping millions of the most disadvantaged children catch up with their lost learning, and we're driving up school standards. During COVID, he wanted to keep schools closed. We shouldn't be surprised because I listen to parents and he listens to his union paymasters. I think that last line was...
Do you think it's fair?
fire.
Do you think it'd be fair if the private schools don't pay VAT?
This should, man. If I'm paying down my Nando's, they need to pay down their private schools.
it makes sense that they should. To be fair, I've not looked into it and thought about it enough. But on the surface, I'm thinking, why do you not pay it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It just keeps just making the rich richer again. Pay VAT on everything, but then people shouldn't have to pay VAT on because it's for the schooling and that. But there's only a certain amount of kids, a certain amount of people that that are even eligible for that. For that anyway. So then it means less people. I don't know. Yeah.
And our next headline, trigger warning here, trigger warning of rape.
Oh God.
It's a bit of a long story, but I'll go into it. So a court has heard that an off-duty police officer raped a woman by the side of a road after showing his warrant card and quizzing her about her driving license. Jurors heard that Met Police Officer Paul Hoyle was drunk at the time of the attack in Shropshire in July. He allegedly snatched the woman's phone before attacking her. The special constable denies several charges and says sexual activity was consensual. I decided the road, So the 40-year-old of Benfleet in Essex has entered not guilty pleas at Wolverhampton Crown Court to misconduct in public office, 3 counts of oral and anal rape, and a charge of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent. The prosecutor, Caroline Goodwin, KC, said the officer was staying in the Shropshire area and approached the woman with a friend. She said that Mr. Hoyle abused and was hiding behind his police powers and speaking to the woman as she prepared to drive away from him and his friend. He was acting as if he was in charge, is what Miss Goodwin saying, like a police officer, questioning her about her driver license. She asked for his warrant card and he produced it. He kept his thumb over where his name was. The woman began Googling the powers of a special constable and information given to her by Mr. Hoyle before he asked for her name, which she confirmed. She then walked away after booking a taxi, but he followed her. She then said that he was drunk and you could hear him saying, no, he was drunk and you will hear her say she thought he was capable of doing anything. Mr. Hoyle was alleged to have said the woman would be in more trouble if she hit him before she did what he wanted, despite being sick. Jurors were told that the woman was left confused, upset, emotionally distraught. Ms. Goodwin said that, but in those moments after, when she thought about what had occurred, she had sufficient wits about her in spite of the deeply personal nature of these assaults. She made an immediate complaint. After Mr. Hoyle's arrest, he told officers he had consumed numerous drinks, including about 5 double vodkas. He said that he had engaged the woman in general chit-chat about sex before she performed oral sex on him. And the trial is estimated to last a week, and it's continuing.
He needs to get a life and never ever see the light of day. That is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, and that's the end of the headlines.
Yikes. All right, let's get into Word on Road. All right, so America is kind of shaking in the boots a little bit. So Good Morning America, the hosts of the show are allegedly in an affair. They've been having a romantic affair. So they're both married, which personally, I think it's a beautiful love story, in my opinion, but, that's just me. So they're both actually married in 2010, but obviously to different people. And their marriage is kind of separated this year, but it's one of those ones where it's not official divorce, it's not anything
just a separation.
Out there. It's a separation, and it's like the people that need to know. So I guess the parties that have been separated from are aware. But the co-stars are lovers. And I just think it's so cute. And they've been doing weekends away and all that stuff. And
is that an affair?
Yeah, it's basically an affair. Technically an affair because it's not divorced. And I guess no one can prove that their partners... No, but obviously they're separated from their partners. People know they're separated, but there's no word exactly on whether their partners were aware that they were going out, as in each partner...
Do you reckon they're to blame for the separations?
What, their partners?
Were they together? Were they seeing each other before they got separated?
So basically the people are saying, the streets are saying, that they've been doing this since March. And apparently they separated from their partners in August. But then they came for the Queen's Jubilee. They were both here in June. And apparently that's when they kind of went official with their relationship. It's all a bit weird timeline-wise. I mean, the man is deactivated.
Oh, he's gone.
Man, he deactivated. He said, The woman's limited her comments, but you know how men be running away from accountability, so no shade. But yeah, so he's deactivated. She's limited her comments on her socials. And yeah, they caught the man in 4K. They did a weekend away in a nice little cottage away, and they took pictures of them. One of them, he's even grabbing bum. he's grabbing bum. But yeah, I mean, if obviously their partners knew, I hope their partners knew. Cause I can't imagine how that must be so just so embarrassing and so heartbreaking to find out who your ex's new partner is on, what's it called? On at the same time, yeah, in the media at the same time as everyone else. And obviously they've been working together for years as well, so they'll have questions. This comes back to people being friends. This comes back to partners having friends because, so on screen they have to have a good chemistry anyway, which you should it's two of you presenting a show. But it's always been like a thing of like it's looked platonic and just friendly. Obviously now that people know that they're out here being lovers and stuff, it's interesting. But I love a good love story anyway, and this is like a good love story to me. Respect if obviously all parties were notified that they've been broken up with. But yeah, man. So big up TJ Holmes and what's the name? Amy Robach, yeah. So that's what's going on in the Streets America. And then also, Kim Kardashian, obviously the Balenciaga stuff we spoke about last week, all of that stuff's been going on, and people basically been looking at Kim to say something because she does wear Balenciaga quite a bit. And she wears their stuff quite a bit, and she also works with them or whatever. I'll just read her statement out. But she said, over the weekend she spoke and she said, "I've been quiet for the past few days, not because I haven't been disgusted and outraged by the recent Balenciaga campaigns, but because I wanted an opportunity to speak to their team to understand for myself how this could have happened. As a mother of 4, I have been shaken by the disturbing images. The safety of children must be held with the highest regard, and any attempts to normalize child abuse of any kind should have no place in our society, period." She goes on to say, "I appreciate Balenciaga's removal of the campaigns and apology. In speaking with them, I believe they understand the seriousness of the issue and will take the necessary measures for this to never happen again. As for my future with Balenciaga, I am currently re-evaluating my relationship with the brand, basing it off their willingness to accept accountability for something that should have never happened to begin with, and the actions I am expecting to see them take to protect children." Well, her singlet was getting torn by the last material it could possibly get thrown off. And people were basically saying, as a mother of 4, you should have just outright cancelled them. All this, you're reevaluating that. What does that mean? Mm-hmm. Clearly, you care more about the money and seeing if you can get out of a contract, or if that's the situation. You're trying to protect yourself whilst you're saying you care about this situation. But it turns out anyway, well, this is what the press is reporting. Sources close to Kim are reporting, but anyone who knows the Kardashian family, you should know the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder. She works harder. So now they're saying she's actually kind of already cancelled them before she even made the statement. Mm-hmm. And she had some event she was meant to go to, and she was due to wear Balenciaga, but she already contacted her stylist to say, and other brands to get other pieces for her to wear ahead of the... Bless you. Ahead of... No, you've been ill before you travel out. But just lemon drink tonight.
That's not ill. That's just a sneeze.
Okay.
I sneeze quite regularly. Ain't that a normal thing?
I ain't never heard you sneeze. But okay. But yeah, so they're basically saying that, she's already kind of been rejecting... She kind of rejected the offer already to style her for some other events before she made that statement. Personally, I don't believe that. Because I don't believe that, because I think that if she had done that, I think that Kim would have mentioned that in a thing to let people know that, I am doing something. I think because she was getting cooked, that's why all of this new information is now coming out. So yeah, it'd be interesting anyway to see what happens moving forward. I think with a lot of people I think outrage is only outrage for as long as the public are outrageful. Do you get what I mean? Like in a couple of months' time, if people forget about this, she's gonna be wearing Balenciaga bags and coats and whatever, and the girls are gonna be trying to get it, trying to buy it. So personally, I don't believe all of that, but like I told you guys, Kris Jenner works hard to make sure they maintain a somewhat good image, and I think that's just what's happening here. But yeah, so there's that, and then my last bit is the MOBOs happened yesterday, hosted by Chunks and Philly and my good sis Remy Bergs. It looked really, really good. I didn't get to watch it. I did see some performances. So I saw a performance by Flo. Oh, they're so amazing. those girls here, they're actually gonna be like, I hate comparing people to people, but it's like our Destiny's Child's kind of vibe. They're so talented, it's absolutely ridiculous. But they perform live. They perform their song "Immature" and "Cardboard Box," and then like it's just amazing. It's amazing. I wasn't able to get tickets to the show because I was on here chatting, so I missed the sale. But I'm gonna be there because I'm a woman of faith. And then they say, yeah, they performed. Fireboy as well. He performed. He did really well. He performed his song with Ashake. What's it called?
Bandana.
Yeah, that's it.
No.
Bandana, yeah. And also Peru. And also who else performed? Yeah, Black Sharif as well. He performed as well. It was really good. It looked really good. And obviously people won awards. It was cool. I think I can't remember what category it was, but Flo were nominated, and the kind of consensus online was that they were kind of robbed of that award, and the person who got it wasn't someone who's, I guess, made moves in the scene that people can see the way Flo have. And Burna won 2 awards. He won best international act and also best African music. And he also he tweeted and he said, "Thank you at MOBO Awards. I wish I could be there, but I'm in Zurich for my show today. Big love to Kanye King and everyone who worked hard to make the MOBO Awards a success." And then also Emily Sandé did a rendition of her single Heaven in honor of Jamal Edwards, and he was honored with Paving the Way award as well. And it just looked really, really cool. Also, Kano, he won best performance in a TV show film for Top Boy. And part of his speech, he said, "In 2005, I won Best Newcomer for my first album. I'm here receiving an award in a different capacity. To artists that have other interests, do what you want. Your artistry doesn't stop in one medium." And that's amazing to me. But yeah, it looks really, really good. It's amazing. And I know they were celebrating 25 years as well. So congratulations to the Mobos. And yeah, and Tion Wayne performed as well, and he had his mum. He kind of opened the show, and he had his mum on stage with him while he was performing. Which was always cute and sentimental. But yeah, it looked really, really good. Looked great. Good vibes from what I'm hearing. The host did well. Big up Remy Bergs every single time. And yeah, it's cool. That is all from me this morning. And let's get into the People's Journal. Sorry. My bad.
Welcome to the People's Journal. I'll give you the news from an economics point of view. All right. So, first thing I want to mention is about HSBC. Any of you lot bank with HSBC?
Nope.
Me?
Okay. Do you go into the branch?
No.
Okay. Well, this won't affect you then. They're going to be closing 114 of their branches.
Damn, that is going to affect me.
You're annoying. Because you don't know any. You don't know. Do you know your closest one is?
Canary Wharf.
How is that your closest?
That's where I live.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, it's kind of like the voting thing. You don't want it to be taken from you, even though you don't use it.
Yeah, because some things is nice.
If I need to put cash in, I know where to go.
Yeah.
So then now what do I do now then?
But,
Go to a different branch.
yeah.
They're not going to touch the Canary Wharf branch anyway. Impossible.
Probably not.
No, they can't do that.
No. Yeah, man. So yeah, they're basically saying they're closing 114 more branches in the UK from April. But the reason is because, like yourself, Marks, customers are using them a lot less, man. Yeah. Like, it's fallen significantly since the pandemic. They're saying they're going to try to redeploy the affected staff. But if they're being honest about the situation, about 100 people are going to lose their jobs. To be fair, it's not that much, you know, when you consider 114 branches are going to be closing. So, but still, losing your job is obviously not good, innit? Especially at a time like this. So, as we've spoken about this on the show before, many banks are closing their branches. In fact, I think I spoke about one of these hubs where you can have like about 5 or 6, for example, different banks in one building. So I think that might be the new thing. You know what I mean? That's going forward. Because obviously, what's the point in them spending all this money, rent, electricity, heating, and no one even turns up? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. What they're saying is they may invest in updating the remaining 327 branches. But one of the unions have come out and basically said, you're abandoning all the customers. They need these branches and things of that nature. Obviously, no one's turning up there, innit? So, you know, it doesn't make sense for them as a business to keep them open. Primark seems to thrive everywhere, innit? Like,
Yeah, it does.
do you feel like the prices are going up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Primark out here acting like they're Zara. And Zara's price has gone up as well. Zara out here acting like they're Balenciaga. Everyone is just moving mad.
Can you you could buy a Primark online, innit?
No, I think it's only I think it's kids, and it's only they're testing it out somewhere, like Wales or something like that.
Okay.
I think they should start using.
Yeah, because they took an L in lockdown.
Yeah.
The biggest L.
Yeah.
Yeah, Primark prices. Everyone's prices is rude, but Primark's prices, like, you're seeing stuff in there for like £50. I haven't got a cord yet.
There ain't nothing in Primark for £50.
Mate, you'd be surprised. There is. It's mad. I was there yesterday. I got a cord. I think it was like 30. It's definitely above 30.
You say you got a cord?
Sorry, a cord. Like a two-piece, sorry.
A cord.
Cord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not a cord. I might need to call some help. But yeah, it's the prices are definitely, like, the girls are noticing and complaining. It's very wild.
Well, it seems like they're still kind of making money, man, because they're looking to expand into Spain. So yeah, man, they're looking to invest £90 million.
Wow.
Yeah, in its second biggest market after Britain. I think it's, you know, is Primark a British-owned company? I would never have thought they were, you know, but they're owned by a company called Associated British Foods.
British Foods?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So they've got 408 stores in 14 different countries, and they're looking to open 8 more sites, including Lanzarote and
Lanzarote, nice.
Yeah, a couple other places.
So it's definitely English, yeah?
Well, they're owned by Associated British Foods, I'm assuming.
Let me find out.
But I don't think I've seen a Primark anywhere apart from in England.
You haven't checked for it. You know, some things when you don't search for it, you don't see it. Because I didn't know. When you said they were in, 14 countries?
Yeah, 14.
I didn't know that.
When you first start traveling and then you clock that there's different territories, it's wild. Say like my whole life, there's like Tesco on any corner, you get me?
Yeah.
So when I go to certain places now and they're saying like, oh yeah, you ain't got Tesco. Like, how do you not eat? Like, what do you mean you ain't got Tesco? Like, that's wild. Where's the Tesco at?
It's actually Irish.
Irish?
It's an Irish multinational fast fashion retailer with headquarters in Dublin, Ireland.
Okay.
But it's a subsidiary of Associated British Foods. Did they make plantain crisps or something?
I don't know. I never heard of that.
I think something else. But yeah, that's... Oh, they got... Because I was going to say they need to open stores in US, but they do apparently.
How was it?
Apparently.
Oh.
But what is Primark called in... What's called Pennies? Oh, no, it's not. All right. It's called Pennies in Ireland.
Okay.
Allegedly, but... Not someone Googling why is Primark so cheap. Well, not a lot. Not anymore. But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but, you know, like we kind of spoke about earlier, even though a lot of these other high street retailers are struggling at the moment, hence pushing up the prices, charging for returns and things of that nature, yeah. Primark, man, they're thriving still, man. They seem to have recovered because obviously they're expanding.
They always will, to be fair, because even like when you compare them to other retailers, they will always be like a kind of affordable, I guess.
Yeah.
Quality's in the mud though, but it's affordable people who need that affordability.
And last month, they said they're going to invest £140 million in UK stores over the next 2 years. So that's just last month, 140 in the UK in the next 2 years, 90 million in Spain. There ain't no cost of living crisis with Primark, man.
What's that, just renovations and things?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Just making it.
Yeah, because you know, basically in Primark basically is not just a shop anymore. It's an experience. They got coffee shops in them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. My local one, not saying where it is, but my local one has it's got a coffee shop in it. It's got like eyebrow, like threading and lashes and stuff like that. Yeah. As in like they've got like beauty bits in it. As in standalone concessions. That's the word, concessions. And it's also got, mine's got a full blown Starbucks looking coffee shop, food and everything. So while you come into shop, take a break, sit down.
Well, yours is probably the only one with that, so they probably know what branch you're talking about.
Definitely don't. I'm doing TDA link up in Primark, which means this is. But no, man. Yeah, yes, I think they definitely are investing. They do need to invest in more longer till. Someone only beat me up yesterday. It's about I'm cutting the line. Don't be silly, man. I did, but that's not the point. But yeah, no, investment is good. They might want to raise up what they pay people. I don't know if they've changed it. That's my first ever retail job.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, man, it's giving slavery though. It's definitely picking cotton.
It's too much work though, man.
It's a lot of work for peanuts. That literally make peanuts. It's a lot of work. Like, but do you know what retail? Fashion retail is mad because you can tidy something up here. Someone come up and they just throw it on the floor. I used to make people pick it up. I used to make people pick it up because I don't know what you think this is, but it's not what you think it is. Pick it up.
Retail is like a rites of passage, isn't it? Like everyone kind of.
Yeah. You got it builds character.
Speak for yourself, mate. I've got tons of character. I ain't never done no retail. That would be one of my worst nightmares.
Hey.
Well, working retail.
Like having to deal with the public and humans and that, and just.
It's a lot, man.
You know what? It really speaks to like the idea that you have to do. If you're going to do certain things, you have to do it at a certain time in your life. Because if I did retail today, nah, I couldn't survive. I'll die.
It'd be a lot.
It'd be too much for me. Way too much.
I wouldn't want to be like a manager of a branch.
No way.
I just don't want to be like ugh.
No way.
It ain't it.
For me, like you have to be in your teens or like early 20s or it's way mentally and man.
Some people have a gift for it though. Because I remember there was a girl who left when I worked at Next. I remember she left and she was going to work in a bank. She left the bank to come back to Next.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, but when she came back, she was then like the head of like the person who that kind of designs the store and in terms of what we're going to put out. We've got new season, just the mannequins, that kind of stuff. But she was like, I miss it so much. Some people have it in their in their blood. Like when I worked there, people were like, I've been here like 20 years. There was some lady actually, I remember her. She was there. So before Next, I definitely can't say which one I'm talking about. But yeah, before that Next was there, there was another store there. She worked in the store before that Next was planted in that in that borough. And she just always worked retail. Like some people just love it, but I just don't have the patience because I don't like stupidity. And there's a lot of stupid people you meet when you work in retail. Like, oh, do you work here? And I'm like, no, I just walk around my name on my chest.
To be fair, sometimes you could ask somebody in Tesco or something, and the guy's just got a blue jumper on.
No, but the thing says Tesco.
Yeah, but sometimes.
Nah, trust me. I've had people when it's clear I work somewhere. Like I've got a rail of I'm dragging a rail of clothes. My name is here, and you're looking at me and you're like, do you work here?
I couldn't do that, man. I'll be testing them. I'll be in Tesco just testing them. Because everybody knows everything. And I'm just surprised. You are good at your job.
Yeah.
And I'll be asking for random things. But where's the oregano? Aisle 3.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
This is what you do. You go shopping. You're new sense. I used to tell people, I don't know as much as you do.
I'm telling you, I was the worst.
Yeah, I don't know.
I ain't butter man. Actually, one time, I can't remember where it was, I don't know what supermarket it was, but one time the youth said, brother, I just started. That's one time.
That's the worst, because it's your first day, people be like, oh, do you know what?
But for the most part, they know where everything is.
I don't know my way to start.
These are lit. Like, everything.
You get used to it.
Huh?
You get used to it very quickly. And there's very common questions, like, where's the eggs, the milk? Certain things you just know. It's about, I'll 10. And if people are looking at me like, oh, you know your stuff. No, I don't. I just told someone before you and I found out the person before you. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Large up all the people working in retail listening right now. We love you.
100%, man, of course. 100%.
You are the backbone of the country, man. Don't be silly.
Yeah, 100%.
Pick up you lot every single time.
What was I going to say? MPs, they're looking to get a pay rise, man. They don't need to strike, but they're going to be getting a 2.4% pay rise next year. Do you guys think that's fair? Should they get more? Should they get less? Nothing at all?
You know, I think their budgets, all them budgets they be having for food, all that stuff should be taken back. We're in a cost of living crisis. You got nurses about to strike, and you guys are doing pay rise without having to strike. But then I'm not shocked because they make the rules, so of course they're gonna give themselves a pay rise.
But it's only 2.4%.
Listen, every percent counts.
Every percent matters.
Because some people want a 2.4 and they're not willing to give some industries 2.4%. Do you get me? So every percent matters.
But do you not see it as, okay, you know what?
2.4 of their salary as well. That's a big 2.4, man.
Actually, you're right. People on 84,000.
Stop it. 2.4%. I'm going to work that out.
They're going to go up to 86,000 in April. Yeah, man. But At the same time, right? These are regular people to some degree. They're regular people, right? That have families and stuff.
This is wild. 2.4% of 84,000 is £2,016.
There you go. Yeah, they're going up to 86.
What am I getting that salary in a month?
Yeah, they're doing well, man. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel as though maybe if you're in the government, right, and your party's actually in power and stuff, and you're not doing a good job, then I can understand the argument for saying no. You're not doing anything for the country. Why should we reward mediocrity? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if that's not the case, why shouldn't they get a pay rise like everybody else does, like nurses and police and you know what I'm saying?
People will argue that they haven't been doing a good job. Well, we're on like
Exactly.
4th or 5th prime minister. I've lost count. Do you get what I mean? So people say you haven't been doing a good job. Like, who gets to decide whether or not they're doing a good job?
True.
Do you get what I mean?
They got too many loopholes, man. They make too much money, man.
Yeah.
They don't deserve it. They need to just keep stealing the money and not. That's just the best way to do it. Don't be putting it in our face talking about you giving them pay rises.
Exactly.
These are taking all the money anyway. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So just keep stealing it.
Because they get a salary, but they have like wardrobe allowance, they have food allowance, they have all these allowances. What's your salary on then?
I always knew politicians took the piss, yeah. But you see lockdown
It really showed
lockdown just showed everyone's ass, man. That was wild. What they was doing with them PPE contracts and them things,
yeah, that
and
was
then
wild.
what they was giving to their brethren and that was ridiculous. Like, horrid. These men came up. That's when I said, nah, can't trust these lot. So they don't need no more raises.
I think they definitely need to like revamp like certain allowances that they have. Listen to this, yeah. Like pay for politicians is linked to figures for public sector earnings, right? That's going to be published in the next 2 weeks, but it's expected. So it's just a projection that it's going to be about 2.4%. So that would mean, like you said earlier, £84,144 salary goes up to £86,000 in April, with peers likely to see their tax-free daily attendance allowance increase by the same proportion. So their tax-free daily attendance allowance is going to be £340.
That's tax-free, yeah?
Yeah,
Very
tax-free daily attendance allowance.
Attendance, I ain't got the words.
I want to be a politician.
I'm telling
I know, I should use my degree.
you. The next thing, I think I spoke about this before, but Nationwide has come out to basically say house prices have seen the biggest fall for 2 years now, man. So prices fell by 1.4% from October, which was the largest month-on-month fall since June of 2020. As I said before, annual house price growth has seen a sharp slowdown, right? Falling to 4.4% from 7.2% in October, right? Average property price fell to $263,000 last month from $268,282 in October. So they're saying that the housing sector is still being affected by the fallout from the mini budget from, Jeremy Hunt and them guys there, which obviously triggered the mortgage rates rise and loads of these lenders starting to suspend their mortgage products and all this type of stuff, right? But I think they're kind of saying the fall is starting to decrease. The rate of the fall, I should say. Yeah, the rate of the fall is starting to decrease. But yeah, no one can really say, oh yeah, this is when house prices are going to like turn and then go back up again. But like I was saying, I think it was on Monday when Gina was here, prices are likely going to continue to fall, innit? So if you got your deposits in that, people, maybe next year, maybe a good time, man, to invest.
It may be all right.
Mm-hmm. And the last thing I wanted to mention, because we're talking about nurses going on strike and things of that nature, even prior to the strikes, ambulance waits basically have worsened, yeah? So some ambulances apparently someone waiting to get an ambulance 40 hours.
That's not true. That couldn't have been. What they do? Stub their toe or something?
Sorry, they waited 40 hours for ambulance.
Well, and they was still alive when it came. They didn't need an ambulance.
Well, again,
They're trying to make army come in and drive in that.
Yeah,
ambulances.
Yeah. So they're prioritising them for the border force thing, and then, but like you said, when the fire brigades and them people there start striking next month, I believe, or this month, December. Well, they're gonna get army in there as well. But yeah, apparently more than 10,000 ambulances a week are caught in queues of at least an hour outside accident and emergency units in England. There's one lady here that this article speaks about who says she waited 14 hours for the ambulance to arrive and then 26 in the ambulance outside the hospital. So that's where you get the 40 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
in the hospital.
obviously that's
Outside the hospital.
no, obviously that's not good, yeah. But she wasn't priority.
Which was outside the hospital.
Like
Yes.
like
Doing
she
what?
was
Why
like
did she go
that.
inside?
That woman was straight.
That was what?
Well,
She was
depends,
straight.
It depends on her thingy. Well, you know, let me
What was wrong? Did they tell you what was wrong with her?
Yeah, let me give a bit more context. She's 85 years old.
Okay.
She had a
No,
broken
you know.
hip.
Okay.
A broken
Yeah,
what? Sorry.
She had a broken hip.
Was-
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So yeah,
Yikes.
That sounds like it hurts.
I'm serious.
yeah, man.
So she broke it and called the ambulance for the broken hip.
See, this is what I'm not too sure about. I feel like she may have had the broken hip before, and maybe that caused something, and then you know what I'm saying, she called the ambulance. I'm not too sure if the broken hip was the reason for calling the ambulance.
Well, I was
Yeah.
gonna say it was gonna be so rigid, but
No, if the broken hip is the reason for the ambulance, then that's too long.
Way too.
I don't think it would have been though.
That's what I'm thinking. I think she has a broken hip. You know what I'm saying? And maybe something else happened, and so she's called them.
if it's a case where she did have the broken hip and then called the ambulance, we need to talk about some work a joke. Why they take 40 hours to respond
Yeah.
to an old person? I think they're trying to get rid of the old people.
Take the organs,
You didn't hear from me though.
but the organs are old.
Something though.
Says saggy.
Yeah,
Now
this-
Brent knows that.
Exactly. Innit?
Something.
No, but it is very. It's hard to believe, man. It's hard to believe, but yeah.
That's what they're doing then.
Yeah. Waited 14 hours for the ambulance to come, then 26 hours in the ambulance outside the hospital.
Was
right?
the extension people Bronx's friends, but they're on the roadside?
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. But
That's
there's just
mad.
crazy queues.
I hope she's alright though.
Yeah, man. When finally admitted to the hospital, they apologized for her, and yeah, she had surgery and stuff.
Oh
So
wow.
maybe it was because of the broken hip.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mikey.
it's sad, man.
Yeah, that's horrible, man.
It's sad.
That ain't it.
But yeah, that pretty much is it, you know? Our
Alrighty.
thing is basically about inflation and stuff. But I spoke about inflation better times already, man.
And we're living in it.
There you go. But you know what? Let me actually mention it because it is a bit of good news, kind of, right? And basically, this is that central bankers are saying that the cost of living squeeze may have peaked. So this may be the worst that we're going to be in. This is what they're saying. Some of them are saying.
Okay, it don't get better. It don't get worse than this.
Exactly, that's what they're saying. So things may be on the mend, but they're saying obviously the war with cost of living is far from over, but the harshest part of the battle
It's here.
may be here. Yeah.
Did they see this coming though? Because I don't know if I can listen to them about whether this is the worst if they didn't even see it coming.
But it's the thing.
And
that-
how long is this worst gonna last?
Yeah.
Could be here for the next 5 years.
True. But you know what the thing is? Sometimes they see certain things happen, coming, and they're allowed to happen, so they can benefit from it financially, and leave us to suffer in it. So, but yeah.
Wait to see it.
But they're basically saying that inflation in UK is set to fall quite rapidly next year. I hope they're correct. I don't know what they're basing this on, but yeah, that's what they're saying. So yeah, a bit of positive news.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it? All
That's
right.
it.
Let's get into our next headlines.
Cool. Next headline, unfortunately, this is very sad news, man. Trigger warning here, death of a very young child. So the body of a newborn baby boy has been found at a recycling centre, police have said. Cambridgeshire police said officers were called to the site on Ellie Road in Waterbeach at midday on Tuesday, shortly after the discovery. Detective Superintendent John Massey said it was an incredibly sad and upsetting incident for everyone involved. He appealed to the mother to get in touch, adding she may need medical care or herself she may be in a vulnerable situation. In a statement, the force said it was keeping an open mind as to the circumstances. Mr. Massey said that we are trying our hardest to get to the bottom of what has taken place, but we cannot do that alone. So I would also appeal to the public for their help. Any information, no matter how small, could help the investigation run by our specialist child safeguarding team, even if that is given anonymously to us or Crime Stoppers. He also said that there was a lot that's unknown and that a forensic investigations team will be obviously involved, will take some time, and hopefully they can find out who the mother is.
That's sad.
Yeah, man, very sad. And people who take bus, man, commuters, there may be some issues for you, man. So along with the strike with trains, the buses are getting involved as well, man. So passengers have been warned to expect disruptions as strikes by thousands of bus drivers in London will affect routes for 7 days in December. So drivers in the Unite Union at 2 employers, Abellio and Metro Line, will strike for 3 days from Thursday, the 1st, so today, to Saturday, the 3rd of December in disputes over pay. Transport for London, TfL, said that customers in North, West and South London should check before they travel and leave more time for their journeys. While some passengers have transport alternatives in tubes and train services, with more than 100 routes brought to a standstill, congestion on the roads and remaining buses is likely to be significant. Last-ditch talks at ACUS between Unite and Metroline are due to take place on Wednesday, with the union still negotiating with Abellio. The Metroline workers who cover routes in North and West London are due to strike again on the 8th to the 9th and the 15th to the 16th of December. The Abellio bus drivers, largely based in South and West London, took 3 days of strike action in late November, and they're also looking to strike on the 9th and the 10th and the 16th and the 17th of December. The last action by bus workers, at both firms will coincide with rail strikes by RMT, which you spoke about in the show also, which is also likely to affect some of the Tube, the London Overground and Elizabeth Line services in West London. Thousands of members of the RMT working for Network Rail and 14 train operating companies, 14 TOCs, will twice strike for 2 48-hour periods in a week. So the first strikes are going to be on the 13th and 14th to the 14th and the 16th to the 17th of December, which is obviously going to cause disruption over 6 consecutive days in the run-up to Christmas, with a similar effect on services through further strikes on the 3rd to the 4th and the 6th to the 7th. Bear strikes is happening, man. So people, please plan your journeys, man. And the last headline, trigger warning here again. An Iranian man was killed for celebrating the World Cup. So, a man is reported to have been killed by security forces in northern Iran as anti-government protesters publicly celebrated the national football team's elimination from the World Cup. So, activists said that Mehran Samak was shot in the head.
Wow.
Yeah, after he honked his car's horn in Bandar Anzali on Tuesday night. So, videos from other cities showed crowds cheering and dancing in the streets. Many Iranians refused to support their football team in Qatar, seeing it as a representation of the Islamic Republic. State-affiliated media blamed hostile forces both inside and outside Iran for putting unfair pressure on the players following their 1-0 loss to the USA in the final group game. The players did not sing the national anthem before their first game in their 6-2 defeat by England, in an apparent expression of solidarity with the protesters. But they did sing at the Wales game, which they won 2-0, and at the politically charged showdown against USA. Some protesters say that as a betrayal of their cause, even though there were reports that the team came under intense pressure from Iranian authorities.
Who was he shot by?
He was shot by...
That's mad.
Yeah. It was by one of these government people, I guess, police or something. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, that's mad.
Yeah. Very, very, very sad. And yes, that is the end of the headlines, man.
All right, we're talking sports next.
Rotation.
Let's go into
we're going rotation. All right, let's get into the rotation.
All right, cool. I thought we'll have a different format today, but let's go anyway.
Yeah, I guess not.
All right, guys, welcome to the rotation. I'm sure you guys have missed me. All right, there's only one thing to speak about today.
I'm actually glad I'm here for this, you know. I thought I missed it. I was like, oh, damn it.
No, I
I missed it this week.
I wasn't here on Monday.
But I thought you'd do on Tuesday.
No, because of...
The situation?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean... All right, cool. Stormzy. Stormzy is back with his third album, This Is What I Mean. His first release on Auto Def Jam. 15 songs, 51 minutes long. A few collaborators. I'll run through maybe some of the most notable or most known. Collaborators, you got P2J on there, you got Sampha, Neo, Tenny, Jules, India Irie, Iris Star, Miss Banks, Oxlade, Ayana, Progression as well. You guys listen to the album first and foremost?
I have. I've been. You know me when I enter.
Everyone listen to it?
I gave it the once over.
Everyone got their thoughts ready? Their thoughts percolating?
I do.
Yeah, you percolating the percolation. All right. Sir.
I keep looking like that.
All right, so I've listened to this like 3 times. So going into the album, obviously, based on the first 2 singles, you know, he set the tone for what this album was going to be.
Yeah.
And I wasn't looking forward to it because of that, because I'm not really a fan of Stormzy when he's singing and when he's in his melodic acoustic bag. I want to hear Stormzy rap over grime beats, hip hop beats. So I wasn't looking forward to it. The first single, which was Hide and Seek, didn't really do much for me. The second single, Fire Babe, I liked, and that piqued my interest a bit more. I was like, okay, cool, I like Fire Babe. Then the rollout was nice as well, when he revealed all the collaborators on the album. Shout out to my boy Dami, actually. He worked on that shoot.
Oh, sick.
So I thought, okay, cool, this is a different kind of rollout. This is a different look. He's going in a different direction. So that piqued my interest a little bit. Then hearing some chatter as well from, you know, the timeline about what the album was going to be like. I thought, all right, cool. This is Stormzy experimenting, trying something different, expanding his artistry. So, you know, I was eager to press play. So I was leaving here on Friday, last Friday, I pressed play, and I turned it off after 25 seconds. I don't know why. I just like, no, this singing is annoying me.
Yusuf, 25 seconds.
25, I turned it off.
Did you start from the, as in you went from
First track, Fire, what's it called? Fire and Water. I said, you know what, Storms? No. But later on, when I was in a better mindset, I thought you'd be given another chance.
Okay.
I hit play.
Well, that's a reflection.
I hit play and I let it soak in.
Yeah.
And you know what? I like the album.
Nice.
I like the album.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I like the album. Even though this is not the Stormzy I want, I like the album. All right, so I'm just going to read off a few notes I have. All right, cool. So, no grime in sight. All right, this is this is a complete new direction.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this as an experimental album. Like I said before, trying new sounds, him veering away from... I compared it to like when Kendrick done To Pimp a Butterfly. Right? So obviously if you look at Good Kid, Mad City, that was very what we expected from Kendrick. And then To Pimp a Butterfly was a complete different style and tone. And to me, this is Stormzy's To Pimp a Butterfly, essentially, right? New sounds, a lot of singing, a lot of vocals, a lot of spoken words, live instruments, acoustics, very melodic, lots of melody, you know, pushing his artistry, trying something new. I didn't really go over his last album too tough, but I think like Blinded by Your
Grace.
Blinded, because you know why on my notes I wrote Blinding. Blinded by Your Grace was kind of him maybe setting the tone, and maybe that was his first forte into this side of his bag, innit? So that set the tone, because that's when I discovered that I didn't like singing Stormzy.
When?
Blinded by Your Grace.
That's an amazing song. What are you talking about?
Takes you to church.
You ain't got no
It's
taste.
For you.
You got bad taste,
For
man.
you, sir.
Type of song.
Oh, it's because you're Muslim. Sorry.
Shut your mouth, boy. All right? I'm being religious into this.
Brad, you know, I'm going to need... Can you take that new black figure? I need to see your face in certain moments.
Right, so
That said...
in terms of the sound of the album, it's more like soul, R&B soul. Yeah, it's more soul side.
yeah.
All right. There's one or two hip hop elements in certain songs, like My Presidents Are Black, which is him. I was like, you know what? Stormzy can rap. You know what I mean? When I listened to that song, I thought, okay, because I've known that Stormzy was a good rapper, but I wasn't really on board fully. But My Presidents Are Black, yeah, Stormzy's a good rapper. Very reflective. So the tone of the album, right? Obviously, people.
Oh, sorry.
You need to behave yourself over there, boy. I'm joking. What was I going to say? So the tone of the album, it seems very much like a love album, an ode to past relationships, maybe an ode to past, Maya Jama. But what I keep thinking, right, is we keep acting like Maya Jama is the only girlfriend Stormzy's ever had. and that between Maya Jama and now, he's just been at home crying for Maya Jama. Like,
That's
there might
mad.
be other women in his life that this album's about.
Do you know what's mad? I said that to Akuya. I said, because he's spoken about like he's dated since Maya.
Yeah, he's dated since Maya. People
But I
acting
was
like,
like, imagine like.
because there's a name on the album he mentioned Megan. Do you
No, that's Megan Markle. He's telling the British public to leave Megan Markle alone.
Okay.
Yeah, saying like, please leave Megan alone.
Oh.
Yeah,
No, but you'll do it on purpose. He would make songs up and have lyrics about relationships and stuff. Yeah.
Because he knows the public are going to think it's about Maya.
And it wouldn't be about Maya. He'd be
Yeah.
drawing on all his experiences.
But I was saying, like,
but
imagine
he
the girl-
knows
He knows who
goddamn
he's
well.
talking about.
Yeah,
Imagine being
They're
that
gonna
girl, though.
assume.
Yeah, no, he
Like,
knows.
these are my lyrics. Don't give my lyrics to Maya. These are mine.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I broke his heart for these lyrics.
He knows that the public are going to take this as
Yeah.
these songs are about Maya.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like a I Want You Back, sorry, reflective album in regards to the relationship. Bad Blood in particular, track 10, that seems like he's, if I'm going to assume, just for the sake of this discussion that's about Maya Jama, then Bad Blood to me is the song where he is actually speaking to Maya Jama about the relationship, about the breakup, about how everything's gone and
I agree with
whatnot. You know what I mean?
Well,
Someone said he meant Megan Thee Stallion.
he ain't talking about Megan Thee Stallion.
You think it was Meghan Markle?
It's definitely Megan Markle. Please leave Megan alone. When you hear the lyrics, it's like, yeah, it's definitely Megan. He ain't talking about Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
You mentioned height.
My favourite songs on there were Please.
Oh, sorry.
To be fair, my favourite songs are, and this is a question I have for the young gentleman who's on his way. Track 4, Please, and track 8, Sanford's Plea. My first favourite song was Sanford's Plea. Then it took me to my second listen to realise that they're the same song,
Yeah.
but just split apart. And the beat is crazy, it's very soulful, it touches me.
What's the same song?
Sanford's Plea and Please is the same beat.
Oh, is it?
Same beat,
It's just
same
something
tone,
you hear
everything.
something more
It's
than the
basically,
other one.
the way I look at the question I have is why are those two songs, why did they separate the song? Why isn't it Please featuring Sampha? Why have you separated the song into two? And it's Please, then it's Sampha's Plea.
Let me see when
Separately.
it
I must
comes
have
on.
not
'Cause I think
noticed
it's
it.
around the time.
Sampa's just someone singing, isn't it? Stormzy's not on it.
Yeah, so the
No, it is.
initially, yeah, my
Oh,
takeaway.
he starts singing towards the end of it. He starts harmonising with her or something.
Yes.
No, Sampha's Plea is just Sampha by himself. But my first takeaway was, how is my favorite song on Stormzy's album the song without Stormzy? Because it
Do
was.
you know what I think it is?
But Please is the same beat. They've separated it.
Do you know I think it's because like, so basically Sanford's Please and Plea,
Yeah,
comes before Holy Spirit.
yeah,
So I feel like that was like a get your soul ready to take you to church.
yeah, yeah.
That's kind of tone is set for me.
Yeah.
But that's a good question
Yeah,
actually.
I just want to know why they chose to separate them as
There's a
opposed to
thought
having
process
it
behind
as
that.
one long song in it. Because I think it would have been dope. Well, it's dope either way. To be fair,
Yeah.
I get double. I get to hear the song initially, then I get to hear it again later on.
Did you hear Sanford on Please?
What's that?
Did you hear Sanford on Please?
Do I hear what on Please?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. There might be backing vocals.
Yeah, he's kind of back. He's
Yeah,
kind of backing.
yeah, exactly. So that I'm assuming I don't know how they made the song, as in how it was
Yeah.
constructed, but it's definitely one long song that's been chopped up. My Presidents Are Black, Fire Babe. I like the melody on Fire Babe. This is what I mean as well. Is dope. I'm intrigued to know the construction of that song, because obviously you've got Miss Banks on there who's basically doing like 4 bars, 6 bars. What was the inspiration and the motivation behind that? But
Her
yeah,
voice is baked. I was listening to that, and obviously they don't prompt you or anything on the song, innit?
what's that?
Her voice is baked, because when I listened to that, she came in, I was like, oh, that's Miss Banks.
Yeah, because obviously, like in
love
terms
that
of
for
the rollout, the song has there's no listed features.
Yeah.
But I know obviously they came out with the collaborator video to tell you who was on the album. And I know, obviously, for example, it doesn't say This Is What I Mean featuring Miss Banks. It doesn't say
Yeah.
Hide and Seek featuring Oxlade, but they're on the songs in it. I am interested to know why. Today is crazy for my mouth.
English. in
Pause. Why? Why? And Eman's has got the camera right in my face.
I know
Nigga,
you keep getting
take that
distracted. I know, it's
camera
so
away
funny.
from me. I am interested to know why some artists just decide to leave off the features. Is it because they want a certain look, a certain perspective. It's cleaner when it's just, you know what I mean? Because there are features.
Yeah.
But obviously, they're not listed as features on the album. innit?
It's clean though.
Yeah, it's clean, especially when,
Aesthetics wise.
you know, it is, especially when the artist doesn't fit. Like, for example, on Nas's album,
Yeah.
King's Disease 3, the only additional vocals on there is Mario.
Okay.
But it'd be weird for Mario to be the only listed feature on a Nas album. So it makes sense to just take off the listings and have it no features, you know what I mean?
Brings every rotation back to Nas. He's like you and polygyny, you know.
Because he's the greatest, man. He's the greatest. He's the
We
greatest.
need to find our thing, man.
He's great too.
He's the
Yeah,
greatest.
we got to find
Yeah,
our thing, innit?
yeah, we
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the greatest too. All right, cool. I'm
Because
gonna-
I was actually thinking, when he said Nas, I was thinking, damn it, man. You just gonna do anything to bring Nas up with
So I'm gonna throw it open to the room now. Margs, what's your thoughts?
I thought I was gonna enjoy the album more than I did
Yeah,
because I've only listened to it one time.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to over critique it.
Okay.
Because I've only listened to it one time.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear a lot that made me want to go back.
Okay, yeah.
Really?
I think this album, for me, has low replay value.
Maybe.
Like Please and Sanford's Plea, definitely, I'm gonna play those songs.
I never put Sanford's Plea on there because Stormzy wasn't on there, so
Yeah.
I just thought I don't know who Sanford is, so I didn't even like it. The songs that I've liked on here is "Give It to the Water,"
Yeah,
"I Got My Smile Back,"
yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh, I love that.
that's dope. So,
and "My Presidents Are Black," and "Hide and Seek." I think "Hide and Seek's cold. I think "Hide and Seek" is a wave. So I was looking for something a bit more in keeping with Hide and Seek, and I thought it was going to be. I thought you know what I'm trying to say. I thought he was going to just get into a more of a wavy
R&B,
joint, like
yeah.
an R&B. No,
Yeah.
not like a Ja Rule, but you know, like a
Hide and Seek vibe. Like just like a R&B.
yeah. Like I thought he was going to get in that bag and give me
Emotional
give me a
bag.
lot of them offerings. You get me,
Yeah.
but he didn't. I've always thought he was a good rapper. I've always known he was dope.
yeah,
MCing, rapping, whatever. He has he has the ability. So when I hear him rapping good, it don't surprise me. But there's not a lot of music on there for me. And I thought, like I said, because like you don't like the singing stuff. I like when they're getting their singing bag, and even Stormzy when he does it, I don't mind. I've got no problems with it. You get me? So I thought it was really gonna ramp it up and do that. But it seems like it's really like spoken wordy,
yeah,
really reflective, and
yeah.
just seems quite emotional. Just sounds like he wants just seems like it's a big advert to try and get his gal back. Even though I don't know if that's what it really is.
I don't think that's what it is. I don't
think that's what it is, but it's the way it's presented. It's the way it looks. And like, obviously, you're just assuming a lot of the lyrics are about Maya when we obviously know they're not. But it's just, he knew people was going to do that.
I'm sure he's drawing from different experiences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and using it all in combination. But I don't think this is I want Maya Jam. Maya Jam was engaged to a whole Ben Simmons, brother. I'm not going to lie. I don't think that's even a good look.
Nah, man. This
For you to be making a Get Maya Jam back when she was engaged to someone.
What I tell you
but
guys,
even though it's not,
until someone walks down the aisle, they're up for grabs.
I hear
I
that,
can't
but-
speak for man, but you wouldn't, people are going to assume it's about Maya.
Yeah, of course, and
That's what we know.
no, he knows that.
Yeah,
Exactly. So then it is that then. If you know, like,
Yeah, obviously,
then it's that. Then it's an album to that. You know what I'm trying to say? Because reality don't matter. It's a perception of what people think and majority rules and stuff like that. If you know the majority of people are going to think that, then that's what you've done. You gave us an album to get your gal back.
How would this album look? Because it seemed like it's perfect timing, right? In terms of the album coming out when it did, Maya and Ben no longer being together. If Maya and Ben were still together, how would this look then? It would look a bit different though. Because you know what I mean? Because we can say, this is a Get Maya Jam Back album because they're broken up. What if Maya and Ben's wedding was around the corner?
I think it would still be that thing, you know.
Then would the narrative be, he's simping?
They're
'Cause
saying he's simping anyway. Ain't you reading the chat?
Nah,
No, but then
ain't simping.
simping no, but isn't simping like more like men's perception
No, it is.
rather
It
than
is.
women? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think simping is very
A male thing.
Because this would have, if Maya was still with Ben, and they were still engaged,
Yeah.
and this album came out,
Yeah.
the girls would be like, "Girls,
So
fight
that's
for
what I'm
me
saying.
like
So
this."
so Stormzy didn't know that Maya and Jam and Ben were going to break up. So
Yeah.
this album was going to come out regardless if they were
Regardless,
together or
yeah.
not.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Esther, thoughts on the album?
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the album. I love first of all, I love black men in their vulnerable, spewing out my emotion type of vibe.
Yeah.
And I think with Stormzy, like my favorite Stormzy songs are always that kind of like the ones that tap into his singing, tap into his emotions. Like Cigarettes
Yeah.
and Kush is my like. I might walk down the aisle to that song.
Yeah.
Not appropriate in the church,
You know what
but
song?
it's a banger.
Sorry, you know what song made me not like his singing?
What?
Birthday Girl.
Yeah, I don't like that song.
That's when I was like, stop it, Stormzy, please.
Yeah, Instagram made me hate that song. Everybody's like, you're the birthday girl. I hate that song. I don't like that one. But yeah, this album, I really like it. I think from how this, like you said, from the what's it called? From the singles he dropped.
Yeah.
I kind of knew what vibe to go on.
Yeah.
I knew what vibe to go off. Actually, not the first one. The Mel Made Me Do
Mel
It.
Made Me Do It, yeah.
I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, I've got a question, to be fair. Why that was left off the album? I have my own idea about.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I really love it. I absolutely adore the album. I love it. I think for me, it's nice to see him with a different sound. For me, I see kind of like growth. I think obviously he was quite public about how much he cared about Maya and blah blah. If it is Maya definitely contributed to this. I'm never gonna play that game. She definitely contributed to the pain on this album. Do you get what I mean? But he was very public about his relationship and whatever. And I think it was nice to see him because obviously he's kind of been ghost as well. So for me, this looks like someone who's been dealing with so much, like outside of the public, and this is him like kind of getting himself back together. And I just liked it. I think it just kind of took me on a journey of like the process of being down and working through that and getting yourself all the way back.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. My favorite songs on there is I like This Is What I Mean. I think Fire and Water. I like the other half of it. So the instrumental part of it, the start, I'm not really.
Yeah.
I want to skip to the end part. I like Fire Babe. Hide and Seek. Oh.
What song was India Irie on again?
Seeking and I didn't know you're my diamond.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But Need You, I love as well. I love Holy Spirit. I love when Stormzy gets in his church bag. Take Us to Church. I love it. Bad Blood, I love as well. I Got My Smile Back, I love as well. I think out of the 12, I think I like 8 of them.
Okay, that's a good ratio.
Yeah, I really like it. I like Stormzy in this bag. I absolutely love it. And I think for me, I just see like him growing as an artist. Like obviously I've watched like the videos of him talking about the album, all that kind of stuff as well. So it just seems very, very personal to him. And I connect with music that seems very personal to the artist. So I absolutely love this. Like I've played it a good few times over the weekend. It's got replay value for me.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
How does it compare to his first one?
It's completely different. The first one is
It's completely different.
hip-hop.
This is
grime.
like no Stormzy
rapping.
album you've ever heard.
Yeah, it's very different. His first one, I would say that had like here and there, like sorry, Yusuf said, Blinded by Your Grace, Cigarettes and Kush. That gave you a glimpse of this, but I would say that was still grime. Like that was still Stormzy being what you know Stormzy to be. This is completely like it's a 180, in my opinion. But I think it's sick because I think he's evolved.
There's a lot more singing on this then.
Yeah, but it's not even like
it's not just singing.
Not just singing, but it's like melodic.
Yeah, it's not just.
rapping.
I wouldn't say it's just like singing. It's just the whole tone of it. It's just like,
It's like in your feels. It's like a journey. It's like a spiritual. It's a spiritual experience.
Like spoken words, lots of like melodic vibes, lower tone singing. I mean, there's a few songs where he's rapping.
Yeah.
But for the majority of it, it's that acoustic.
Yeah.
Lots of live instruments.
Yeah.
It's a nice. It's like. Do you remember? Anyone heard Common Electric Circus?
Yeah.
So you know how that album was deemed as him like experimenting and going completely left from what he normally does.
Yeah.
This is like Stormzy's Electric Circus, in my opinion.
Okay.
In regards to him stepping out of his comfort zone, what he normally does,
Yeah.
and going down a complete different lane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I compared it to Pimp a Butterfly.
Okay.
That to me was Kendrick going left. You know what I mean?
So what you know?
Yeah.
So if you, I guess this is a bit of a tough question because of how different the projects are. But I was going to say, if you had to take one with you somewhere, you can only listen to one for like a week.
Yeah.
What would it be?
His first album. Because that's, for me, I like Stormzy when he's rapping. I like Stormzy on grime. I'm not a big fan of Stormzy when he sings. Yeah, so first album for me.
What you guys?
what's that? Gang Signs and Prayers?
Gangs and the Prayers, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can't lie. As much as I love this one a lot, but with that one, it's got songs on there that I just want to enter.
Yeah, no, something like Please touches my soul. Like that's me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That beat, that instrumental is, I love it. Love it. But yeah, no, that. In conclusion, does it make the rotation? It definitely does.
Sick.
Definitely does. Definitely does.
All right.
All right.
Nice. Going to interview? Right, let's get into our interview. Yeah.
All right.
Morning.
One sir.
last night. But yeah, more time I'm up early.
All right then.
All right, so can we do that again? Because there was no song whatsoever.
I know you
No
lying.
way.
I know you lying.
Yeah. Something happened.
None of
There's
it.
no way in hell.
Nobody knows what that Rasta is. Nobody knows who he is. So please, let's take that from the top. Thank you.
All right.
Wow.
Can't get the staff, you know. Thank you, Yusuf. All right, guys, we are back with a special interview for you today. We have a man who's worked with Tiana Major, Ayana Karuma, Wretch32. I love the ad-lib. Thank you, Brent. Keep going. We've got Weston, Jacob Banks, Stormzy. He is the son of a legend, and he himself is literally walking greatness. We have Cass, a.k.a. Progression, but your fave calls him the General. Hi, Cass.
How you doing?
That was a very interesting one, actually. That was a very
That was better.
That was better. Thank you.
Yeah, that was
Thank you. But how are you, sir?
I'm blessed, man. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Good.
Hey, you're a morning person.
All right. So, Imad, do you want to explain the game team, please?
All right. So basically, every time someone comes here, like to break the ice and whatnot with a game called 140.
All right.
So basically, what it is preference questions. So it could be something like Nando's or some shop or whatever. Yeah. And basically, some questions general knowledge as well. And it's over a beat. That's 140.
Wow.
Yeah. See,
today you're the rapper.
Oh, so that's why you asked if I'm a morning person.
See if he was ready.
Exactly.
I need to be awake. All right, say no more.
Yeah. So
All right.
when these guys get...
Everybody ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. We have by the way, we have a score board.
Did we even keep track of that?
I was going to say, you saying
yeah,
this,
yeah.
I've never seen this little
Oh,
boy.
I've never seen it. This is something
It's
like,
all right. It's,
I'm going to get tallied up.
the girls are gonna get it. If you don't get it, it's all right. Don't worry about it. But we've got a board going, so I hope you can top it.
All right, I'm going to try.
All right. Nice.
3, 2, 1.
Camden or Shoreditch?
Camden.
Is Africa the biggest continent on Earth?
No.
How many seasons of Stranger Things are there?
3.
Talent or effort?
Talent.
What is the biggest country in Southern Africa?
Biggest country in Southern Africa. South Africa.
Who is currently top of the English Premier League?
I have no idea. I don't watch football.
Great. G-Unit or Dipset?
Dipset.
Which African country does Miss Banks originate from?
Nigeria and Uganda.
How old was the Queen when she died?
You know, I don't know. I have no idea.
Nicki or Cardi B?
Nikki.
What country called for the year of return in 2019?
Ghana.
Who is the present Deputy Prime Minister of the UK?
No idea.
I didn't even know that.
Nigeria or...
Biafra.
Where's Biafra?
Don't be rude. Ask the question,
Nigeria.
man.
What Afrobeat artist has more vowels in his name than consonants?
More vowels in his name than consonants.
Consonants.
Consonants. Sorry, I said the word wrong. Consonants.
I don't know.
There's different
I'd
answers.
have to
To
give
be
me the
fair.
answer?
Yeah.
Ashake.
Oh, right.
But also it could be Davido.
Like,
Yeah.
He's equal, you know. Yeah, it's equal.
I wouldn't have got none of them. Not at this time.
Wait there. What did you say? You went Dipset over G-Unit?
Do you know what? I had to just think on my feet. And
What do you mean?
Yeah,
What?
Dipset over G-Unit, yeah. 100% Dipset over G-Unit.
I'm a G-Unit, man. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I thought you
Do you know
had
what?
that's
I
a good answer. That's a good answer.
What? Dipset?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd pick G-Unit, definitely.
Do you know what? Are you picking G-Unit for 50 or G-Unit?
For all of them, their mixtape run was crazy. Banks, Yayo, just them three actually, before they even done all the extra stuff.
Yeah,
like, just
yeah.
them three, just Banks, Yayo, and 50. Their mixtape runs was different.
Yeah, do you know
The
what?
sets run was it was before as well. It was before G Unit, I believe.
Yeah, no, the
that's
sets one was crazy and they had big tunes. I just like what I like.
Yeah,
You
no,
know
I hear
what I'm
that.
saying?
No, I like a G-Unit as well. I just think Dipset just kind of edges it a little bit. Because I just feel like even as individual rappers, I was taking them in more than like I wasn't gonna listen to a Yayo project.
That's
Do you know what I mean?
See, I was invested. G-Unit, I would listen to all the projects,
I
the
hear that.
individuals they're dropping.
Even
it.
Buck.
Yeah. I've listened to all the albums. Bucks, Yayos, Banks, all of them. Because they're all going to be on there anyway. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
to
Like,
be
they all make good projects.
Yeah.
But no. And you went...
Also, you didn't put that Miss Banks was from Uganda and Nigeria.
Yeah, even better answer.
Did you know she was from Nigerian?
You should get
I
2
didn't
points.
know.
You should get extra points for that.
Maybe. I like that you got the South African one, man, because I don't think anyone's got that. What's the biggest country in Southern Africa? South Africa.
Yeah.
Actually, let me not show my ass. We've got to guess. I didn't know. I don't know any other countries in Southern Africa. What other countries are there in Southern Africa?
Zimbabwe,
Oh, that's South.
Mozambique. Yeah. It's quite a
Oh,
few.
damn. Okay. Learn something new every day. All right, should we get into the interview?
Let's do it.
Yes.
All right. So, we should start with you. I think we should start with your name.
Yeah.
Progression.
Yeah.
And the origin of that. How did that come to be?
I play keys, chord progression.
Okay.
Kind of just came from there naturally, and yeah, that's where it started anyway.
Okay. And then do you just spell it like the way you spell it?
Do you know what? It's such a generic word. I just hate having like different handles on socials where it's like all different things.
Oh,
So I
yeah,
thought, let me find a way that I could spell this where you could only find me when you put it in
that
Google.
makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you play keys. When did that start? What age did you start playing keys?
Well, my dad was a musician, so like I've been in music my whole life, really. But I started playing keys when I was probably about 7 or something like that. Yeah.
Sick.
What, did that self-taught? Did your dad teach you or something?
Do you know what? It's even though my dad was, I obviously just looked up to what my dad was doing, but he never necessarily taught me. I just kind of copied what he was doing, and then eventually you just, when you do it enough, you get better, I guess.
That's sick. So what kind of music was your dad into?
Predominantly reggae, but my dad started off as like, he started off in gospel, then went into like jazz, and then started doing reggae, and then he toured with like most of the big reggae artists from the 70s to the late 90s. So like there was a lot of that. But in my house, like everything was played from hip hop to R&B, jazz, everything, to be honest with you.
Okay, that's sick. Would you say that inspired your you getting into music then?
Yeah, for sure. Like ever since, if you meet anyone that's known me from ever since I could talk, like I wasn't one of them kids that wanted to be a fireman at one stage and then wanted to do that. That was it was always going to be in music. So yeah.
Was it always in production, or did you want to be an artist?
Started off as an artist. Started off like I was in a group with my family, so it was me, Angel, 2 of his sisters, and his older brother, and it was like we were like musical youth meets Jackson 5, and like we basically used to play live instruments and sing and do all of that stuff. And yeah, I guess at some point I kind of just naturally transitioned into production, and this is just stayed over there.
That's sick. What do you enjoy? What would you say you enjoy more?
Production, I think, simply because like with production, I'm still part of the process. I could still enjoy the process and the making of the music without all of the other stuff that doesn't really interest me in that way. Do you know what I mean? I think with an artist, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of other things that you have to take into consideration that you don't. When I could just do the production and just enjoy making the music and then stop there. Do you know what I mean?
In terms of production, though, because like you said, it's different to being an artist where you got to promote your music and stuff. But as a producer, you got to promote your beats to certain artists and stuff like that. How do you go about doing that? Because it's not like you have like a whole album of just beats on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you know what it is? I think like relationships is probably like your biggest currency today. So it's an age-old way, but like if you're good at what you do, people are gonna talk. It's just gonna spread organically, innit? But I guess before there was things like MySpace and do you know what I mean? There was things like that, or beat CDs or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, like I just been making music, and when you get to a point where you're good enough, people will just talk and they just start reaching out. Yeah.
Remember the first artist you worked with?
What's the first artist I worked with?
Do you remember like who the first person?
It would have just been like my family, really.
Yeah.
But outside of my family, that's a long time ago, boy. Like it would have just been some grime MCs from the hood or some shit. Like,
So do you feel like you got a breakout song? Like a song that you made, and then after that, then you started obviously saying like word of mouth thing, your name started getting around more.
Do you know what's mad?
People.
It's a complete wild card because people don't even know this, but there was a song that Roll Deep did called Green Light.
Yeah, I remember.
And me and Angel wrote that.
Okay.
We wrote the hook on that song, and that was like we got a publishing deal maybe about 12 or 13 years ago, and one of the sessions was we went in with Danny Weed and Joe Hurst, and that was one of the songs that we did just on an organic one.
Yeah.
And that went number one.
I was gonna say that's definitely number one.
I remember that.
Yeah, so that was one. I guess that was one of the breakout records. But there's been like many others since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. So obviously you've been an artist and now a producer.
Yeah.
Do you draw inspiration from the same place, or is it different? And if it is, like how?
Yeah. Like for me, I gotta be inspired to make music. I'm not.
Okay.
It's not a functional thing for me. I don't just get into the studio and just make music like a robot. I feel like the artists I work with, like my process is like 50% of my process is just conversation. Cause I feel like it's mad important for the artist to like trust you and for you like, I think it's weird to just get in the studio with someone and be like, let's just make a song like out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's important to like build a proper rapport where the artist could trust you and they can know, okay, when I'm singing, I could trust that you're going to be doing the right thing by me in the music. So like, essentially I think it's I just got to be inspired. And once I'm inspired, the rest is the rest.
And what did you like draw your inspiration from? Because obviously we had to do our research.
Yeah.
And in my Googles, I saw that you like to travel.
Yeah.
So is that like part of your inspiration, would you say?
Not even intentionally. I just like to travel because I think it like gives mad perspective. Like when you go other places in the world, you find out like certain things that we think's mad important here, or certain things that's tolerated here isn't there. Or do you know what I mean? I think it just shows how you could proper think that where you are is the world until you go somewhere else and everything you know is irrelevant to them. Do you know what I mean? So traveling is good. I think it gives perspective and it gives you a broader, do you know what I mean? Broader perspective and things to talk about or whatnot. But I think conversation, just speaking to people and like actually speaking to the artist. So when you make music with them, it comes from like a real, genuine, authentic place. It's not just, this is a good concept that we could talk about. Do you know what I mean?
Well, like when in the conversation you're having with them, is that like what you're currently going through? Like what are you trying to tap into? Is that kind of conversation, or is it just what do you want to achieve with this album or with this project?
I think it's a bit of both. Like I think conversation in general, like it's got to come from a place where it's like we could be talking politics, we could be talking music, we could be talking anything. Do you know what I mean? And that then a lot of my songs come out of there's like a moment where there's a spark, something we speak about that can then eventually, I don't know, inspire whatever the concept of the song is or whatever, and then. Do you know, just like how you'd watch a film or you'd go somewhere and you'd see something and it might inspire something, it's similar to that, but you just have a conversation, so it's not contrived, isn't it? Like when you make a song.
Okay, I mean that makes sense.
You do a lot of work with Western, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you like part of Western?
No, Hailey's my younger brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
like biologically or like
yeah, that's my younger brother.
Sick.
Yeah.
No, but you know everyone's like that's my bro. It's like
No, that's
No,
actually
but you
DNA,
can
bro.
tell they look very much alike.
yeah.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't, you know.
Yeah.
No, because all black people look alike.
Well, when is your brother? I'm sure you can
I
get
ain't
away.
want to say nothing.
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm saying I know of you to do work with Western, yeah. But then obviously I do a stupid thing where it's like I just accredit all Western's work to you.
Yeah, that's right though.
Huh?
That's right though.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Like 98% of the Western songs is produced by me.
Oh, dope.
So
Sick.
give us some horns, Brent, man. Come on, man.
Come on,
Yeah,
what
we're
the
horny, man.
hell was going on here?
100% repeat that. This is what I'm saying.
All right.
Yes, you're right. So you don't add that
I said,
things.
yes, you're right.
The man said the publishing checks are there.
We say all the into
Proper sick.
Into
Bend
Bend
over,
Over, Text It, everything. Like all the
Text
rhythms.
It.
Love struck.
Love Struck.
That's
this is
sick.
serious stuff.
Yeah. All of them rhythms is
That's
beast
it.
still.
That's it.
So what are you saying? So you got a good working relationship with them? You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
vibe.
Like-
So do you hit them up and say, "Yo, I got one for you," or do you usually just go in the studio and just?
No, we just go in the like again, like our thing's like mad organic because obviously it's a family thing. But like, even how Western came about, like we were just making music. There were 3 separate artists from West London, and the Western thing came because we were making a mixtape called Western Union, and that's how the name kind of came about. But like, for the most part, like we just get in the studio and we just get busy, man. I think like there's no one way of doing it. Like it just is. You just get in the studio and make music.
I saw a tweet from Rich like earlier this year, and this is what he said here. It makes me happy knowing that they're gonna know exactly who Progression is. The guru.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Rich is meticulous with his words. Innit?
Yeah.
How are you the guru?
Boy, it's him who gave me that name, you know. Do you know what?
Don't be humble, man. Don't be humble.
I've been working with Rich for time, innit? And again, like we got like, that's someone that, even though I've known him for a long time, it feels like I've known him my whole life, innit? Because we just got like mad aligned ways that we think in things and musically as well. So that's somebody that I've worked with a lot, and he's seen me in the studio, he's worked with me, and we've worked on that many different things. So yeah.
Okay.
What's your process like? Like, is there anything that you need to have? Is that like a right energy? Oh, actually, before we get there, have you worked with anyone that's like bad vibes and like I can't work with you?
I think my energy just cancels that still.
Is it? Sick.
When like, there's people that will come in and like they might. Like there's people that's coming and the session started awkward, but again, I feel like through conversation, like it just ices that out. 'Cause I feel like you could come to studio and you could think, I don't need to respect my man, or I don't need whatever your energy is.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me, after we've had a conversation, if it ain't it, then the song just won't happen. Do you know what I mean? So like for me, more time it's never really that.
Okay,
It's
that's
like once we have a conversation and they realize that there's a level and we can just level up. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not weird vibes. Like I can't even work in them kind of environments anyway.
So what's your process like? Like, do you like a one-on-one with the artist, or does other people be in there? Is that distracting?
Like I could work in most settings because I've been doing it for ages and I've just come up into like all kinds of scenarios in it. But like, I guess best case scenarios for the artist to come in and then we just talk at first. Like, I don't like to make it mad, clinical and weird and like, we gotta make this type of song today. Do you know what I mean? It's not really that vibe. So we'll just talk, listen to music and figure out, like, naturally through those conversations, you'll just find alignment and you'll find things that you have in common, whether that's views on life or whether that's music you listen to or fashion or whatever it is. And then I think out of that is where the song kind of comes. Yeah.
You see that as a producer, because obviously, like in this day and age, you got like super producers that are larger than life and that. But mostly for the music industry, people really just care about the artists and that. You get me?
Yeah.
But obviously, producers are equally, or if not more important.
Yeah.
Because these are the ones making all the music that we're doing. You get me? But like, do you care about like that kind? Are you like chasing famous? Like, do you want to be famous, or is it just about the art and just being successful?
Yeah, I don't care about being famous at all, to be honest with you. Like, that's not really my angle. A lot of people even say to me, like, right, you've done bare things in your career, and like, people don't necessarily always know because I'm not out here like doing weirdo shit like on my Instagram, making man know who I'm in the studio with, and I'm not really on all of that. But to be honest with you, I feel like my contribution to music is even just bigger than just production. Like, I work across a lot of different areas with the artists that I work with. So like, there's producers like Quincy Jones or even Swiss Beats where they've kind of just let people in on their life process. So you kind of get a better idea of what they represent and how they get to the point that they're doing it. And I think that's probably something I'll do more than just, I'll be out here trying to let man know I've produced this song or I'm trying to be an artist. You know what I mean? That's not really my vibe.
What's your thoughts on the whole producer versus beatmaker argument? So you got someone like DJ Khaled, who says he's a producer but doesn't actually make the beats or play any instruments, but the public think that he's a producer, and that when he puts out albums, he's actually behind it when he's not. He's just kind of putting everything together. He's like a playmaker.
He's like but technically he did produce it.
Exactly. So
no.
do you know what's
That's
mad?
what I'm saying. So producing, obviously, the definition of producing is it doesn't mean you make beats, but the public think that producing means you make the beats. Yeah.
I feel like traditionally, a producer would be somebody that puts the whole thing together and gets it from point A to B. Beatmaker versus producer or whatever. I think there's a skill set to both, because like Khaled, he obviously has an ear and he knows what he's doing and he's able to put great songs together, obviously, because it's working, innit? I think they've both got different skill sets. It just depends on what you're into and what you need, innit? I don't really I think there's space for both, innit? I think there's space for both things to exist. I don't feel like one is better than the other.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Would you look at someone like that with the same respect? Obviously, because he's successful, it's kind of hard not to respect him, I'm saying. But do you look at him the same as you, if that makes sense? Knowing that you can play piano.
No, I don't look at him the same as me because I can independently do what he can't. But I think there is still a skill set. Because there's, for instance, there's loads of producers that might be crazy skilled, but the music that they make doesn't necessarily translate because it might be too complex, or it might just be like self-indulgent, where it's like I'm just producing to make my ego feel like I've made a sick beat, so I'm just doing all the moves to make sure you can know how sick I am. And then there's somebody like him that's got an ear that could be like, I've got the balance to know not too much of that, enough of this, put this person, and that's a skill. Do you know what I mean? Like that's, I don't want to try and like dim that out. Like that's not a thing that he's doing. Do you know what I mean? If that's like, that takes skill.
Yeah.
Anyone can't just be DJ Khaled.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think for me, it's like some producers, they feed into the narrative that the public think that they make the beats, and they don't make that distinction to say, no, I don't make the beats. I'm just putting that together, because they kind of want the praise for being the beat maker. It's like Diddy, for example, he doesn't really make the distinction that he's not making the beats. I feel like he wants the accolades of, no, I done everything. But he actually just makes the play. He's putting it all together.
Do you know what though?
I heard he's more hands-on, Diddy, though. Like, he's a man, even though he's not, he'll tell you like to put keys in. So that is even though he's not doing it, he's producing though.
I know it's producing. I'm talking about the public perception.
Public perception.
Do you know what? But I get, at the end of the day, by definition, he's the producer.
Yeah, I know.
So it's
definitely.
like, the public aren't wrong in thinking he produced the song because he did. Do you know what I mean? It's like, at the end of the day, like, the people who's making the beats or who's like literally playing them, they've already signed up to the idea of, all right, you're the producer and I'm the person that's making the session musician or whatever you want to call it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't see that as a bad thing unless he's doing it to violate them. Like where he's like, all right, cool, I produced it and I'm trying to not shine a light on you because I'm just trying to.
No, but because I can't play instruments or whatever, if I sit in the studio with you and you're playing something and I'm saying, no, the melody needs to go like this, and change the key, and I'm doing all of that and we do it, I produce that beat.
Exactly.
Like, I'm just letting man know now. Like, okay, like, facts.
But then you go to studio if you don't want to give me credit.
No, I'll give man the credit where it's due. Like, you handled it, but this is my beat.
100%.
You know what it is? I feel like some producers, they take the credit. Like obviously they're saying, put that here, put that snare there, add a drum, da. So they're producing it, they're orchestrating the play. But I feel like some producers don't give the people who are actually playing the instruments the credit that they deserve.
That's true too. That's true too. I don't respect that because I feel like that's just taking advantage, obviously, innit? But like, at the end of the day, that's down to how you do your business, innit? If you are a person that wants to make sure that you're credited for the things you're doing, you need to make sure that the opportunities you're taking make sense. That it's not, you're not just doing it because it's Diddy or who, and it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just gonna be here, doing the whole play, and you're gonna just say I produced the song. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
I do think we're in a place now where producers are credited a lot more. I don't know if you would agree with that.
Yeah.
Because before it was always usually about just the artist. No one really thinks about the person who was able to put all of this together. I remember even when, like years ago, I remember when it would come out like this person doesn't write their songs, and it's like, oh my gosh, what do you mean Rihanna didn't write that? So do you know what I mean? I think people don't realize there's people behind, and sometimes the artist is just a person who just presents this.
I think producers are more so becoming stars nowadays, and obviously you've got tags. Like a producer tag, which lets you know, I mean, like Mustard's on the beat or whatever.
Do you think UK producers are getting that though? Do you know UK producers?
I think J5.
Not that many.
And
J5, P2J.
P2J,
Jules, there's enough producers.
Jules,
Fraser T. Smith. He's the first, like, in my eyes, super producer that I knew of.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you had Dreddy. From
old school,
even before, those two were the first, like, in my eyes, UK super producers. That I know.
I had big up Dreddy, man. 100.
Yeah, Dreddy was big, innit?
100. Trust.
Yeah. How does your upbringing affect your music in terms of like the influence? You know what I'm saying?
I think like life just inspires art, innit? And I don't want to sound all fancy and all that, but like in reality, the things that you go through and how you come up or how you're brought up is gonna naturally just inspire the way that you do things, innit? So yeah, I think obviously coming up in a house where I was exposed to a lot of different styles of music has contributed to making me versatile, because as much as I might do Tiana Major 9, I also do Western, which is like two completely different things, and they can both live in a space where they're respected for what they are. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like growing up in a house where like I've been able to like hear lots of different things and respect different styles of music, I'm able to like figure out what's the right thing to do according to who I'm working with.
In terms of like this, obviously as the producer, you're going to be instrumental and you're the conductor, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of the lyrics, do you influence that as well? Like when
well, like by trade, I'm a producer and songwriter. So
Okay.
like I write with the artists as well. But there's some artists who don't need that. So it depends on who I'm working with. There's some artists who specifically choose to write everything on their own. There's some artists who would like to co-write. It's like relative, innit? It depends on who
Have you ever made a suggestion like without being asked about like lyrics? Like, do you know what this would, if you did this?
Yeah. Because like I'm just trying to like make the song the best it could be.
Yeah.
And if they're doing something that I feel like could be better, I would suggest. They don't have to take it on board, but I'd be like, what do you think about this? Or maybe try this. And
Do you get credits when they do things?
yeah, of course.
I love that. Love that.
Yeah.
What's good? This is more of a yes or no answer as opposed to giving details, right?
Yeah.
But from being behind the scenes, are there a lot more rappers that we think are like, you know, top tier who get a lot more help than we think, or get help?
Not that I personally work with, no.
Okay, cool. All right, cool.
Okay. I was gonna ask as well, what does like music represent for you? Like, is it like an outlet? Is it therapy?
I think
What is it for you?
I think it's both. Like, I think music is a safe space for most people to kind of just like offload or just express themselves, regardless of what that is. Most people kind of find themselves in music as an outlet or like a therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you when you like, whether when you write or you produce, what is your aim? Like, what is your goal? What do you want to achieve with your music?
I just want to make music that makes people feel something.
Okay.
I think like a lot of people, some people make music for money, some people make music for fame or whatever they make music for. But like nothing beats a song that like makes you feel something. It's like I always give the example of take Bob Marley, One Love, for instance.
Yeah.
When he made the song, he wasn't trying to make some super hit record. He was just trying to like insert a feeling into a song, innit? And even 40 years after he's passed away, you play that song to a 10-year-old and they receive the same energy. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that is like a superpower. Like it blows my mind still, even though I make music every day, that two people can get in a room with nothing and at the end of the day, there's a song. Do you know what I mean? That's like an amazing thing that we kind of like play down like it's some regular thing. But to be able to do that every day is like, that's God ordained. Do you get me? That's not just like everyday stuff. Do you get me? So being able to like see songs that make people feel something, like how can a melody make someone cry, or like a melody or a lyric make someone happy? Do you know what I mean? That's
The science behind it is imaginary.
that's a spiritual thing. Like,
it
it's not-
definitely is.
it's a deeper one. So for me, it's just about making music that like makes people feel. And I guess that's changed over time as I've matured and got older and had success and whatnot. Because obviously when you're younger, you just want to be popular and you want to make music that your brethrens love and you want to, and all those things. But like, I think it's all rooted ultimately in, I want someone to feel something. I want to play my tune and you feel something. Do you get me?
I'm actually going to look into that. Because remember I told you guys that when I was a baby, at church, whenever like hymns were playing, I'd be crying as a baby. But then when it's like upbeat songs, I've been crying from birth. It's ridiculous. But I was going to ask, because you mentioned Bob Marley and you said about like you listen to his songs and even 10-year-olds will be like, that's amazing. Do you feel like in this current climate, the songs that are being put out, obviously not all, but do you think it's got the same quality of like longevity? Yeah, longevity as previous.
Some of it does, for sure. There's music that has longevity now. I think because it's a business, obviously there's a saturation of just noise as well. There's like bare things that are popular and loud or whatever, but there's still like amazing music being made. Like Cleo Soul makes amazing music. Drake makes amazing music. Kendrick Lamar makes amazing music. Jay-Z makes a bit, like there's still people making music that has longevity. It just, obviously now we have access to so much music that everyone makes music. There's not really a skill set. Like, you don't have to be good at nothing. You can just wake up tomorrow,
And just get in the studio.
buy a laptop, get Fruity Loops, get spliced, and you're a producer. When you get your plaque, you're definitely a producer. No one can't tell you nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I think for the most part, it's just like you have to just figure out what works for you, and that's why I feel like music that makes you feel something is what defines the difference. Because you can hear something that sounds wavy, sounds hard, and but you don't feel nothing. There could be someone that's like mad lyrical and like technical, but you don't feel nothing. And there could be someone that's mad simple
And you feel everything.
and you feel everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, that's how I define what really resonates with me.
Oh,
Yeah, go on.
he's dying for it. Okay. I was going to say that even though there are people who are making music, like timeless music.
Yeah.
Do you feel that is kind of watering down or taken away? Because we see it mainly with award shows.
Yeah.
Where then someone who's kind of poured, or they will say, obviously they poured everything into this and their song is like timeless and blah, blah. And then someone who like made like a TikTok song because it was popular takes that away from them. Do you feel like it's kind of diluting it maybe?
I think, that it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And like, without being like mad, trying to like being mad emotional about things or being too connected to things in that way, I just see it as like my music isn't defined by someone saying it's good. It's by what it does for someone.
word,
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, because that person got an award, my song is going to be here 10 years after this award show, and your song's going to be here for the next 6 months. So who's the real winner? Do you get me? It's like more time people allow these things to like consume them, and it's like, right, I didn't get the award and you want to have a cry about it. Like, I don't care about those kind of things because in my mind, I'm past that. Like an award show is not going to make me believe that the music is good. I see what the music does, and there's like Western, for instance. They're like, people love Western.
Listen.
And it's like, whether we're having traditional hit records that's in the top 10 every week, or we're having a tune that there is no dance, there's no christening, there's no birthday that you can go to and you're not going to hear Western. For me, it's like I'll take that every day over the chart thing. Because it's like the chart thing's cool, but in reality, it doesn't necessarily represent nothing. It's just a number. Like you sold more records that week or more people. Do you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean people are going to be listening to your music next week. Like we see songs, there's a number one record every week. Every week there's a new number one record. So like that doesn't represent music. That just represents numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's such a good mindset to have in terms of like, a lot of things in life anyway. Like not kind of doing things and thinking longer term. And also doing things because like kind of believing in yourself and doing things that you want to do and enjoying the process of it and just being able to see beyond the accolades that you might get, because really and truly music is subjective anyway.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna like it.
But I guess to some degree you got to strike a balance because
of course.
you still got to pay them bills and do
100 million %.
But in terms of like making those songs, right, that kind of define your legacy.
Yeah.
Is there like a formula to it? Because like, for example, a One Love redemption song. Those are some of the greatest songs ever
There's no
made.
formula.
There's no like life. That's life shit.
Okay.
Like you gotta just experience life, and that's why I say like having conversation and being inspired by real things is where those songs come from.
Yeah.
Like Bob Marley didn't go studio and think, wow, what's a sick concept? Let me write one. Like that's not the way it happens. Them man, they go through real struggle, real life stuff. Do you know what I mean? And then before you know it, a song comes out of that. That's what hip hop is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think these people know that that these bangers are what they are sometimes. I think maybe I think writers probably, especially ones that have been doing it for long, they're probably a bit different. Like so someone who writes a song, there's certain people that get to a certain point in their craft and they saying, I know
100%.
this is a hit.
Yeah.
I just got to give this to the right person and this is gone. So they don't probably know. But I think like when you're in the studio in the moment making them songs, sometimes I think a lot of the times people don't know what they got in their hands. And the only reason why I say that is because there's been times when as a creative, I've made something, or you've probably made something, and you said to yourself, "This is it." And you know for a fact how cold this is, But you put it out, and it wasn't it. You get what? But you wasn't even wrong, like because this is cold.
100.
These are just ain't recognizing.
100%. Like what makes a hit? There's so much things that contribute to making a hit. The marketing, the week that it comes out, like so much things in it that's out of your control, and that's why I'm like, I can't allow myself to get into a space where I let that lead my decisions because you just start making crap music. That's the reality. You just start making music for numbers, and it's like that's not the way we consume music. You hear a song for the first time, it makes you feel something straight away, and that's when you decide, right, I like this song. And then before you know it, you keep hearing it. Like I had that same thing with Hide and Seek.
Yeah.
When we first done that, me and P2J done that song, so we made this beat, everyone's thinking, right, progression, P2J link up, it's gonna be a mad, like, techie beat, but it's a simple spiritual one. It's not even technical at all. So the songs come out, some people's been like, right, it's a nice vibe. Before you know it, I like this song. I keep playing this song. Then I'm having girls ringing me, telling me they just go in their car, listen to it and bawl. Literally, that's what they do with the song. And it's mad.
It's me, like, I'm girls.
It's got like, no, but it's like, I think when there's like a spiritual element in the song, it hits you beyond anything. You can't repel that. That just is what it is.
The Hide and Seek is cold still.
Listen.
See the whole. I want us to go deeper into the spiritual element. Because obviously.
No, anyways, I gotta leave soon. And I kind of want to get into the album before I gotta go.
One question before. Right?
You're touched.
Obviously.
Look, I put it in the group as well. You don't read the message.
Obviously, like, I can look at you. I could tell there's a consciousness there, right? I can see in the iconography, everything there, right? So your background in terms of like being Rasta, can you go into that a bit more? Like, did you have full-blown influences of Haile Selassie, Prince Emmanuel? You know what I'm saying?
For me, it was more like about what Rasta represents in terms of like living in love and like being the like center and the core of everything. And I think when you're younger, you just think like you lot are going overboard. But as you get older and you start to realize, like, on a deeper one, what love is and how powerful that is, you're able to like make clearer decisions on the things that you do in your life, and you're able to just like weed out the crap, to be honest with you. So like for me, obviously growing up in a space where I've had certain teachings and I've seen certain people move a certain way and how their life has panned out. As you get older, you just start to realize, I see what that was. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And that still influences like everyday life. Like,
yeah, of course. That's in my DNA. Yeah.
It's like, in terms of, it might seem like a bit of a left question.
Yeah.
Diet.
It ain't left for you. Don't you dare.
You're checking if he's vegan?
Of course.
You could just ask me direct.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not like the new age guys with the dreadlocks that. I've been this the whole time.
That's what I'm saying.
I said it might seem left. How dare you?
Great minds, man.
How dare you?
G-Man is constantly looking for validation for your choices.
No.
Stand in your choice alone.
I'm happy to be here alone.
Comrades.
Wow. Man, go on. Sorry, man. Ask a question.
No, that was it. You
just want to get confirmation he's vegan?
No, because obviously it's part of like a lot of Rastas are vegan, isn't it? So I wanted to see how much, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if you're a real Rasta or if you're just one of the...
If you're a phony.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you always been a vegan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
From like young?
From birth.
Beginning.
I'm not part of the new age vegans or the new... I've been doing it the whole time.
That's amazing.
So I'm saying?
I feel sorry for you, man.
You don't have to feel sorry for me at all.
He said I feel sorry for you.
Trust me. No. Do you know what it is? I'm not one of them guys who's like, you shouldn't eat meat. Because like, I know people who eat meat that are healthy and live a good life.
Yeah.
Whatever choices is yours.
Yeah.
This has just been mine and I'm good. Yeah.
Sick. All right.
I want to quickly read something from your Instagram,
Yeah.
And then that will segue into what we're going to,
Cool.
Because I think it was very powerful, right? So I had this one on a low fire, right? What started off simply as a shared appreciation for stellar songwriting, warm chords, and a mutual love for carefully crafted melody has far developed into real-life brotherhood and some of the greatest music I've ever been a part of. So many amazing moments, every emotion under the sun, from pure joy and happiness to anger and frustration and everything in between. This process has been a true testament of character, patience, persistence, and perseverance. Your continuous display of bravery, humility, leadership, and teachability says a lot about who you are and where you're going. And it shows in the music. We truly unlock something here, my guy. Sing until your heart's content. Remind these niggas you can really rap. A true student of the game and easily one of the better songwriters I've ever worked with. We believe you. Fly, my bro. You are free. Thank you for taking a chance on me. taking direction and trusting my ears and ambitious ideas, trusting my calm and collected approach and tolerating my late arrival to most sessions. I'm joking. Pushing me as I push you, encouraging me and reminding me I'm the Ross Clark General every time I see you. A huge thank you to all the amazing contributors to this art piece. You are all so integral and truly irreplaceable. Such a blessing, man. Truly career-defining and quite frankly, life-changing. Once the dust settles and all is said and done, I can honestly say we left everything in these songs. No stone unturned, not a word unsaid, or a message misled. Whenever I speak on unwavering focus, attention to detail, integrity in song form, honesty, vulnerability, and meticulous chipping away until we have an undeniable diamond. This is what I mean. We did it, bro. We finished what we started in the way we wanted. Who can't hear must feel. Praise his holy name.
That's so sick.
What, you put all of that on your Instagram?
Yeah.
Where did that fit?
What, you think it's on your
No,
phone?
there's no limit on Instagram captions.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a young
But you
boy.
don't be on there. So you wouldn't know.
To be fair, that's the longest caption I've ever done on Instagram.
You say he's feeling that one.
No, do you know what it is?
I would hope so.
Man, do you know what it is? I was working on this album for 2 years, innit?
Okay.
So it's not just like I just made an album.
6
and,
months,
do you know what I mean? It's like there's a lot that went into this and it was very intentional. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I didn't even plan to write something that long.
Okay.
It just came.
It just came, do you know what I mean?
What songs on the album did you work
So
on?
I exec the whole album.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah.
God damn.
By the way, for people who don't know, I'm talking about the new Stormzy album.
Yeah. Sorry, yes. Talk about the Stormzy
So
album.
what, did you produce any songs specifically? Or was it just...
Yeah,
is that
I produced Fire and Water,
Yeah.
My Presidents Are Black.
Yeah.
I produced on Got My Smile Back. I produced on Holy Spirit. I produced on... I've got to see
No,
the
you
track
naming
list.
the whole entire album.
All my,
Yeah,
all my favourites.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, most of it
I
still.
want to get a few questions before I go, right?
Yeah, sure.
So, Please
Yeah.
and Sanford's Plea.
Yeah.
What was the process behind making that? And what was the decision to split them up into two?
So I actually didn't produce that song.
Okay.
That was produced by a producer called Owen Cutts. Big up Owen Cutts.
Okay.
He had this idea that he came to the studio with.
Yeah.
Which was like the bare bones of Please.
Yeah.
And we were just having like mad different conversations in the studio, and he was saying to Storms like, with Please, like Please is such a simple but broad word, isn't it? Like you can have please in desperation, or you could be pleased in a fleeting way. Like there's so many levels to how you could express that.
Yeah.
And it was one of those ones where I guess that just came out of Storms naturally, because we all left the room.
Okay.
And then he said when he was writing the song, it was just happening. Like he wasn't consciously thinking of like that's why even the way that he's rapping in the song is almost like spoken word kind of vibes.
Yeah.
And like he tackles stuff that he never thought he'd ever speak about, like his relationship with his dad, and just like his relationship with where he's got to in his career and how famous he's become, and the sacrifices you have to make for that, and all of those things. So like, we all, like, that was a song we could always hear Sampha on.
Okay.
But when we went to the studio, Sampha's crazy ill as well. Like this guy's come to the studio, one take.
Okay.
Like,
Wow.
sang the whole thing, and we're like, this is madness. And we just thought like it was important that the Please was a perspective of everybody's. It wasn't like Stormzy featuring Sampha. It's like when you're talking about those things, what does Please mean to you? Do you know what I mean? And what's your perspective on that? So that was like how it was separated. Yeah.
So from the beginning, it was intentional to make it two separate.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was always
okay.
it was always gonna be like two separate.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Why wasn't Mel Made Me Do It on the final album?
It was on the album originally.
Yeah.
But it just felt like displaced. I felt like
Yeah.
Mel Made Me Do It was a particular thing in it, and it's like he just felt like, I want to rap.
Yeah.
It wasn't even about bravado or to show people how well he can rap. It was
Yeah.
just that I heard this beat and it just makes me want to rap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like in terms of the content and where it was sitting in the album, it always just felt like if we put this on the album, it's for our ego to just be like, right, it's a cold rap song that's on the album, but it's not necessarily serving a purpose on the album.
Okay.
So yeah, it just kind of
That makes sense.
Yeah.
From the beginning, did Stormzy come to you with like bro, this is my intentions, this is how?
No.
Or was it all organic in terms of
It
how
was
the album
all
came
organic.
about?
Even on my Instagram, there's the text message where he asked me to EP the album.
Yeah.
So me and Storms have had this relationship for years where like I've known Storms for time. I worked with him very early on.
Yeah.
And there's an interlude on his last album called Don't Forget to Breathe with Yeba that I did. But we would just like, a lot of people don't know Storms has got proper good taste in music, innit? Well, we got aligned taste in music.
Yeah.
So we'll just be sending each other stuff, everything from rap songs to like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And like, there was Holy Spirit was like a proper early idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just sent it to me and was like, what do you think of this? Like, how do you think you could develop this song?
Yeah.
And I just hit him back and I was like, right, I think you could try this. This is dope. Like, this is amazing. I said, you know, I'm going to make a playlist for you.
Okay.
That's like a soundboard that you can use for your next album. Like bare songs that I think could be Stormzy songs. So there was like loads of different songs from Donny Hathaway to Kanye West to Jay-Z to like loads of different, to Swiss, Cry, and that. There's like loads of songs that I thought could be amazing moments that he shows on this album. And then he was just like, bro, this playlist is like resonating with me crazy. Like every song, I hear you. And he was just like, do you want to EP the album?
That's sick.
And that was it.
So thing is, the album is very cohesive.
Yeah.
Sounding right.
Yeah.
Wise, right. So at what point do you decide, you know what, okay, cool. Was it like 3 tracks in that we decided to carry
the
on in this
first song.
direction from track number 1?
So we got in the studio, the first song we ever recorded was Fire and Water.
Okay.
And even how the song progresses and how it becomes like Pour Me Water at the end of the song.
Yeah.
We done this camp in OC Island in Essex where there's like a causeway you can only get to the studio at a certain point in the day because the tide comes in and all this stuff. So when we was over there, like we got like a bunch of producers and songwriters and people that we respect that we thought could make a contribution to the album.
Yeah.
And Pour Me Water just came out of like a vibe that Casey and Debbie was doing in one of the rooms, and we came in and Jacob Collier was there and like loads of different people was there, and we were just like cooking, and it was just like a free space where anyone can just contribute to any room, and it was just a very like free flowing type vibe.
Yeah.
And Fire and Water was the first, way before the camp, Fire and Water was the first song that we made when we went in the studio.
Yeah.
And he was like, rah, like this feels like, it was just the first thing that came out of him. It wasn't like he was thinking about what to write about. It was just like, I guess his relationship and him splitting up with his girl was just what was on his mind and on his heart at that time. So it just came out.
Yeah.
And then as he started obviously making the songs, they just naturally progressed in the way they did.
Okay. What's the story behind Miss Banks' verse being so short?
So like every time Stormzy talks about this is what I mean, like when we were speaking about this is what I mean, when we were making it, it was always going to be like he wanted to show what it is to be black and British today, or like it is to be young black British African or West Indian today. And he wanted it to just sound like a sonic explosion. So it was never about how long your verse is. It was just like, I just need you to say this. Like, I need you. You're the person that could say this and deliver it in a way that is people are gonna. Like,
it definitely worked. When I was driving and I just heard her voice come out the
Yeah,
speakers,
no,
it
it
hit me
works.
like, oh shit, Banks.
Yeah.
You get me?
No, that's the vibe I got. That it's more like a collaboration of ideas and sounds, and you don't have to be typical structures. It could be Miss Banks come in and do one line because you're the best person for that.
Exactly.
Someone else do this. It makes sense.
100%.
Yeah.
And even like that's part of the reason why with the album there wasn't like a feature. He done a cast list obviously.
Yeah, but not
But there
features.
wasn't like features on all the song because he wanted you to just experience it with a fresh mind, not to look at the feature and feel like, let me jump to that song because, you know what I mean? It was just like, let me just listen to the album and all of these different colours and these different things are going to just pop out, do you know what I mean?
So when did you guys start on the album again?
2 years ago.
Okay, cool. So it is easy to say that it is about his relationship with Maya then.
It's about his... Do you know what? I would say this album's like a coming of age album. So it's just like growing up and becoming a man and taking ownership and responsibility of your actions in your life and where you're at. Do you know what I mean? One of the biggest changes that he's had is he was in a long-term relationship and they split up. So that was something that was on his mind and something that was in him. So that naturally was going to come at that. But it was like, it's also about him, you know, becoming a man. It's about his relationship with God. It's about where he's currently at as a
It's
man.
evolution.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, evolution is a good word.
Yeah.
So,
So obviously she's a part of that conversation for sure. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, making an album,
Yeah.
you knew that the public are gonna perceive it to be essentially an album because you know the narratives online. Like, this is the Get My Jam and Back album.
Yeah.
Marketing wise, was it easy to kind of like step into that and know that this is going to be?
I'm
the
not gonna lie,
narrative?
I have nothing to do with that side of things. Like we weren't thinking about the audience at all when we were making that. We were just making music. We were just like, all right, cool. This feels hard. This is sick. That's it.
Yeah.
And then like, however you figure out how to do that after is like an afterthought. It's a whole different thing in it. But
Yeah.
in the moment of the making of the music, we were never thinking, this is gonna be. I don't,
salacious
that's
or
even
something.
cordy. I don't even think about those things when I'm making music at all. Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
So yeah.
How hard was it to get Indie
Not
or,
hard.
or
at
how
all.
easy was it?
It was easy, very
Okay.
easy. Like, she's just a proper blessed person. Like, even how accommodating she was to the whole thing. Like, we were on text and she was like, how do you want me to do it? Do you want me to sing it like this? This is what like, she was so, like, such a servant to the music. It was never like about her being India at all. Like, she was really, really, really blessed throughout the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, don't.
Yeah.
All right, you guys can go.
Yeah, because we were just like, I was like, you got it all? Everything, you sure?
Get your shit on.
I was going to say, I know that you said, obviously, like, going into the album, you guys kind of knew where you wanted to go, but do you feel like from the beginning of the 2 years when you started it, and then the finished product, is the finished product what you actually envision it to be?
Yes, in the sense that we knew we wanted to make high quality music that is very honest and that makes people feel.
Yeah.
That was like, we had a whiteboard and there were like particular things that just kept us aligned with our long-term goal the whole time. So it was like the whole album was always about, all right, cool. Does this feel genuine? Does this feel authentic?
Yeah.
Is someone going to feel this when they hear this? Do you know what I mean? And that's always just been the goalpost that we've stuck to throughout the whole process. So it was, like regardless of the sonic of the album, it was always about, does this feel true to what man really wants to say now? Or am I just doing this to do a move to make man think, oh, that's a cold lyric? Like, it was never about that. So that's why people, like even now when people ask me, what do you think? Like, how are you surprised? I'm like, I'm not surprised in the sense that because we were so intentional about making people feel something, seeing people receive it in that way is just like further confirming what man was trying to do the whole time.
It definitely 100% aligns because that's how I felt like listening to it. Like, I've listened to it a few times.
Yeah.
And from the first listen, it was that feeling. Because I even joked before the cameras went on, I was saying how when Hide and Seek came out, I was not in a place to take that in. But that's because I knew it would make me kind of feel. So when I listened to it, everything I felt is in line with what you guys intended.
Yeah.
I think it's what sick. Have you done that? Have you worked? Because when you're saying, you know, you guys went to a camp as well, like the intention behind it. Have you worked on anything like this before?
Yeah, like pretty much most of the things I work on, this is my process.
Okay.
So like the Western stuff, for instance, or the Tiana Major 9 stuff, like we go in and we just like have like a clear idea of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Even, Western's music there's a feeling in there. Like when people hear the music, it makes them feel a certain way. It represents a particular vibe. So that's intentionally done. Like, that's not just an accident. Do you know what I mean? That's that. Yeah.
Last question.
Yeah.
I bounce. What's the story behind, or the full process behind the album name?
Yeah.
The cover, the letter on the doorstep. Who's the letter to? What's the story with the whole cover?
So,
name of the album.
From my understanding, the name of the album came quite organically because Storms always says, "This is what I mean."
Okay.
In like so many different contexts.
Yeah.
And one day he must have said it, and Flip said like, "You should call your album that."
Okay.
And he was like, "Rah, that's actually kind of cold, like,
Yeah.
because this is what I mean. Like when everything that I've been gearing up to do throughout my whole career. So he's shown like points in his career where whether it's Blinded by Your Grace or whether it's Own It or what, like loads of different things that he's done to show like I'm more than just this one-dimensional thing that sometimes people want him to be, or people, do you know what I mean? So it's like for the first time he's been able to make something that he feels truly represents where he's at in his life right now. Do you know what I mean? So that's where that come from. And then the letter on the cover from speaking to him, it was like this is his letter to like music and his letter to God and his letter to the people that he loves, and just saying like this is honestly like you know when people think about writing a letter, that's the time when you can just be like 100% real,
just vulnerable,
you know,
open,
and vulnerable and open, and you can just say what you feel. And I feel like that's like the concept behind that.
Okay. Dope. All right. It's been a pleasure, sir.
No, likewise,
I'd love
bro.
to spend more time shopping out with you.
Love my bro.
Right.
Yeah, man.
It's funny because when I was listening to I love when Stormzy takes us to church.
Yeah.
I be feeling it in my spirits, right? And it's interesting that you said how you produce Holy Spirit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I think that's
With Dion.
amazing because it's a spiritual song. What was your inspiration with that as well? Because with Stormzy, we can tell, like, you know, his relationship with God. Like I love the fact that this man, doesn't matter what platform he's on, he's thanking God. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? So for you as well, what was that for you?
I think it's the same thing. Like I feel like, there's an intention in that song.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was very important for people to feel what that song is for and what that song's about. And it's like, obviously, when you listen to gospel music, there's a very clear intention in gospel music.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's about just letting go and letting God
like holy
lead.
hands in the...
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that was the vibe behind that.
That's it. So we spoke about like producing earlier in terms of like the roles and, you know, people's perception of what the role is and all that kind of stuff. But can you talk us through what it is to actually executively produce an album?
So yeah, I always say like with exec production, people just make it about like bravado and exec, so everyone needs to respect the exec. But it's exec produces about being more of a servant than it's about like a servant to the music and like creating a safe space where the artist could feel comfortable enough to let you lead and let creative decisions, let you lead creative decisions and be like, okay, cool. I feel like this is going to be a way to make it feel cohesive. This is a way that's you can do this better, or you can make sure that this, like, it's just somebody that can oversee and have like a holistic view on the whole thing. Because as an artist, you're going to go through the motions. Today you might be in a bad mood and a song comes out because of that. Another day you might be in love and a song comes out. Do you know what I mean? It's like you need somebody that you could have a wider vision and be like, all right, how do we make this one thing and make it feel, do you know what I mean, cohesive? So that's the job of an exec is listening more than anything else.
Yeah, but then with that, it's a lot of trust for an artist to put in your place in your hands. So
100%.
Do you feel that pressure? Because like you said, the artist can be having a bad day and that can be reflected in music. Yeah. What happens when you're having a bad day? Like,
so yeah, I just got to be as leveled as possible. Obviously, I'm human, so like there's gonna be days where I'm having a bad day, but. Ultimately, if as an exec producer, it's about, okay, how do we always make sure that we maintain what we started? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I think, I feel like that is naturally something that I do. So I don't, like exec producing isn't like a special thing to me. I feel like when I work with artists, because of my process, I kind of naturally end up there anyway. Okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. What would you say has been like your most favorite part of making this album? Yeah, and then also the hardest part.
I think my favorite part was just like the creative process and how free everybody was. There was no like, everybody had creative freedom to just make whatever comes to them naturally in that moment. Yeah. I think the hardest part was just getting everything over the line at the end, all the meticulous things that you got to do with the mix and making sure that, you know, the drums are slapping properly on this song. And do you know what I mean? All of those little things that are just a bit more functional. But like for the most part, it's the creative part that was cold.
And then like the harder part, maybe like hurdles you might have faced or?
Some like stuff like, you know, like securing features sometimes could be long because it's like like everyone's not on your time, innit?
Yeah, so
sometimes you got to wait and all these kind of things, you know what I mean? But
now this is not sick, you know, like you did something amazing. Obviously you're super talented anyway.
Thank you.
And you've done amazing records. And I love that fact that you're like speaking to you. I like the fact that we've spoken to you and knowing what your long-term goals are and what it is that you actually want to achieve from music, because from speaking, like you're doing that. You're absolutely doing that. I can't remember what the album is called. It's the Western one, the one that's got 4 year on it.
Oh, Western Season 2.
That's it. And I remember with that album, before it came out, I went, because I was on radio at the time, and they had like a private listening.
Yeah.
And I remember like them just like seeing them and them talking about the processes and like how they got there. And it made me appreciate the body of work a lot more.
Yeah.
And I think with Storm's one is going to do the same thing where I appreciated it already, but knowing how much really went into it. Because I was saying before you came, we've got a segment called The Rotation.
Yeah.
And Yusuf leads it, and it's when we talk about, kind of music, and it gives like a music review.
Yeah.
And I was saying how the artists that I resonate the most with are artists who talk about like their life, where I feel like it's come from a real place. It's coming from a place of like, I can see your evolution, I can see your growth. All that stuff it speaks to me as a consumer.
Yeah.
And I think it's just amazing to know that that was what you guys were aiming for in terms of getting people to feel, and people are getting that. Obviously I know that you don't really put yourself into so much what people think and stuff like that, which is very good. I'm definitely going to adopt that moving forward.
Yeah.
But like, do you look for what the reception is to something, a project and stuff?
Yeah, obviously, like, I'm making music for people to receive, innit?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to hear what people think when you put out a project or when you put out music, but I don't let that define what I feel about the music. Like, and when I'm making music because I want to like it first, do you know what I mean? And then, obviously, beyond that.
That's it.
Yeah.
I got a couple more questions.
Yeah.
Do you like mentor?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, how did you get into like obviously mentoring? Like, did you approach them? Did they approach you? And like, why is it important for you to give back and open doors? And you know what I'm saying?
Firstly, because when I was coming up, there was no one mentoring me, and there wasn't many people that like I could go to and be like, right, how do you do this? I had to kind of just learn from experience. So I feel like it's important for younger people coming up to have just a broader perspective and understand that what you see in front of you now isn't necessarily everything. And having somebody that's had a bit more experience and just lived life a bit more than you can make you avoid certain obstacles that you don't need to run into.
Yeah.
And with like mentoring, I think that's just an organic thing. If you hit me up and we're aligned and you're trying to do something that makes sense. Like, I don't know everything at all. Like, I just know what I've gone through and what I've learned from experience, innit? So all I can do is show you through my experiences, all right, cool, this is what I've learned.
Yeah.
This is how I've done things.
Yeah.
And that's going to make a difference, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, and the last question actually from someone in the chat,
Yeah.
She, like, her family fully, like, Rastafarian and everything.
Yeah.
She's asking, do you actually, like, bang drums in a Rasta circle and stuff? She says
Do
it's a
I
serious
bang
question.
drums in a Rasta circle?
That's basically what she said. That's her words.
I can't believe you got that one off.
No, that's what she said.
Crazy. If she's
she
asking,
she
am I...
means it in a,
No,
like
no,
a,
I hear her. If she's asking if I'm a Rasta, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, to answer her question.
All right.
Yeah.
Who would you say has had like...
them?
Huh?
I said, pick up my Rassites them.
Yeah, come on. Rassites.
You said you wanted to ask him a question before he arrived. If Ace didn't answer right, then he wasn't true.
Do you know who Aswad is?
Of course.
Okay, then. Do you hear that response? Did you hear that response? So what was I telling you? Was I wrong? Was I wrong? I said, of course. These uncultured swine. They don't know who Aswad is, you know?
That's crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I had to run 2 rhythm for them before you got there.
Yeah. Them man were like actually genuinely successful as well. Like, not on like on a pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, like big business,
Actual chart.
Blacker Day.
Yeah.
Like old school when the racism was high.
Yeah, trust me.
Racism was high.
They done their thing. Aswad's big business.
Yeah.
Out of all the artists you've worked with, who would you say has had like left like the biggest impression on you, like an impact or something that... I don't know if that question makes sense. I think it does.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. There isn't one. Like, every experience is just unique for what it is, isn't it? It's like, people have like a lasting effect on... Like, I think like it just depends on how I've met them, how I've seen them come up, what I've seen them come from and where they've got to. I don't think it's just like one person, do you know what I mean? Like, I have different relationships with different people based on just the way that we work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have a question also about the album. Is there anything interesting you can tell us about the album that we haven't picked up as the consumers? If there is anything. Maybe something that's so clear or
Do you
obvious
know
that
what's
we've
mad?
missed.
I was having a conversation. I done a Q&A the other day with Storms, and the person who was interviewing said, "Oh, like this album's got a lot of singing on it," and I said maybe 10% rapping, and I was like, he said basically it's so funny because it's like people only receive rap in the way that they feel rap should sound or should look, because it's crazy because it's like you know, there's 12 songs on the album. Yeah. One of the songs is sample. Let's say there's 11 songs. And he's rapping on Fire and Water. He's rapping on Please. He's rapping on Hide and Seek. He's rapping on Need You. He's rapping on My Presidents Are Black. He's rapping on Got My Smile Back. He's rapping on 9 songs out of the 11, long over short. But like, because of the mood and the tone and according to what you expect rap should sound like, automatically you just denounce it like, oh, this isn't rapping. But I just encourage people to just listen to the album with like an open mind. Yeah. And trust me, the more you listen to it, the more it's going to grow on you and the more you're going to realise how skilled of a rapper he is.
He's definitely dope. But you know what it is? It's definitely given feels. Because when you were just talking about that Please song, I never put it on my liked list, on my liked list, innit? But as you started talking about it, I'm thinking, I know this song. Because I remember, because I watched the Louis Theroux interview and he was speaking about it before it come out. And so as he was talking about it, I was listening to it, I was thinking, I know this song. I actually like this song because I think like he talks about, he says a lot on there. He raps good, he spits good, you get me? But then like, I didn't like it. Right. Because I don't have a playlist. I just have my like songs and then random songs come on, you know what I'm trying to say? So there could be all different kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, I don't know what frame of mind I'm going to be in for like, I could be listening to a Bashment song, then this comes on. Like, I don't know if I'm
reflecting shit. It's
I'm saying I don't know if I'm ready for all that. So I didn't put it on there. If that makes sense. You get me? It's not necessarily saying like it wasn't good. It's just there's definitely a feeling right in the music. You get me?
Yeah. It's interesting because actually just this morning when I was listening to it again, what you said about Please in terms of like Please can be someone like begging. I think when I listened to the first few times, I hadn't really like I didn't think of the word please. Right. But again, I think the more I listen to it, I'm like learning and more things are kind of coming to me. Yeah. And just as when I was driving, I was thinking, please is it's actually a deep word. I forgot I was going to intro the show with that. But like, please is such a deep word. But I agree with you in terms of people should listen with open minds. Yeah. And just keep, like, more things will come to you. I think it's a great body of work. Well done.
No, thank
honestly,
you.
Congratulations on that.
I appreciate it.
But to wrap up the interview, we do have questions that we have to ask our guests. All right. It's not scored or anything, so don't worry.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's fine. But so we'd like you to tell us something that nobody knows about you. It could be anything. It could be a hobby. It could be an interest. It could be a fact.
Something that people don't know much about me, so that I could say anything.
You really could. Because that's your favourite food. Okay, thank you.
Like, I'm mad into trainers. Okay. I got like a lot of kicks still.
Like, give us a number.
I don't know. It's just a mad number. Still.
Over 100?
Yeah, way over 100.
Crazy. Yeah. Over 200?
Over 200.
That's interesting.
What's the first pair you bought? I'm guessing they're all in good condition as well, isn't it?
Yeah. The more you have, they always stay.
Yeah, because you're I've been watching them more than like 5 years. That's crazy. Do you remember the first pair you bought?
Nah. I've been getting trainers since I was young, like proper young. Since I was like 12 or something, I've been into trainers like from them times.
We've been the same size feet?
Nah. From about 18, I've been the same size.
Okay. Yeah. That's sick. And then also, what's been your biggest life lesson?
The more you know, the less you know.
The more you know, the less you know. Please explain that.
Like, as you get older, you start to realise when you're doing things in life, you're always there's always gonna be more to know, innit? Mm-hmm. There's always gonna be more to know. And you know when you're younger, you think, right, I know how this thing is now. And then something else happens, you're like, oh shit, that was a proper curveball. I didn't even think that could be a thing. And then that teaches you another thing. And I think that's what life teaches you, to just keeps you, it just humbles you, innit? And just lets you know, like, there's always something to learn. Without sounding mad, philosophical. And,
no, it's true though. You could
That's
always...
so true. I literally had that conversation the other day. I'm going to use that on my Instagram caption. I will credit you just because I've had a conversation about credits. But no, it's so true.
Yeah.
That is proper true. But okay, last question. Yeah. Obviously, you said you mentor. Yeah. But if there was an advice you can give anyone who's kind of coming up in the industry, whether artists, maybe it might be different advice to be fair for an artist and a producer. I just thought something to leave the kids with?
Yeah, I just think like, just listen a lot. Like I think we're in a time where it's like mad noisy and everybody thinks they know everything and everyone's coming up quick. So everybody thinks, right, like this is how you do it. And I think, yeah, like throughout life will just humble you all the time.
Yeah.
So I think if you're just listening, but not just hearing what's going on, like actually listening, I think you will be okay. You'll be good. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
So can I ask one more question? 30 seconds, yeah?
Yeah, cool.
Top 5 UK producers.
Inflow, P2J, Jazzy B, who else would I say is my top 5? Jules and J5.
Do you know what though? You live your raps. Do you know what I know? Because you are very humble. A lot of people, when you ask them who's like the top 5 anything, they put themselves first.
Nah,
that's
that's
sick.
even corny. Like that's crazy.
That's corny.
Yeah,
That's what people were doing. That's it.
yeah.
No, I don't. If you believe you're in the top 5, you should be allowed to put yourself on there.
Do you know
That's what you're listening to because you would do that shit. You're ridiculous.
Do you know why? Though?
Yeah, I'd put myself on.
Do you know
anyways.
why I don't need to do that? Because like I proper don't care about them things. Like I'm probably never in anyone's top 5 producers, but I make all their favorite songs.
Period.
Do you know what I
Hey,
mean?
love
So
that.
like for me, it's like cool.
Yeah.
Top 5, cool. It was just my top 5s, so
Yeah.
like I wouldn't even judge myself in that and just be
Yeah.
like, look, these are the guys I like.
Yeah.
I think they're cold. Yeah.
No, but honestly, do you know what? Congratulations on creating another amazing body of work. I'm
Yeah,
sure
thank
there's
you.
amazing more things you've got that's coming. We'll be looking forward to it, and I hope you. I know you're very I can tell you're very humble, but I hope you do take time to kind of celebrate the things that you do because honestly, you're a living legend,
Thank you.
and
facts.
your music is going to be here for generations to come, and that's amazing.
No,
Not a lot of people can say
appreciate
that. Congratulations,
No, thank you.
and thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
anytime.
Thank you, man.
Much love.
Those are some nice words, Esther.
It's all right, thank you. You know I do. But yeah, let's get into our, not really talking about humility and then turning around and saying that. But yeah, let's get into our sports headlines, get into the reaction.
Are we still doing that?
Man, we nearly finished. Hey.
That's alright, cool.
It did sound like a send off, but
Okay, cool.
No, it's not. I'm going to run, do you want to run it through quickly?
Yeah, just the results and that, yeah, man.
Because there
reaction.
isn't much.
Let's find it. All right then, cool. Obviously, it's our sports section. You know, go on. Just to give you a quick heads up. Anybody interested in the World Cup? Obviously, you know Esther's loving it. She's staying
Loving
focused. She's going crazy. I'm just going to give you
So-
quickly today's fixtures before we get into anything. Oh, it's Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah.
3 o'clock, Canada versus Morocco. Also, have a 3 o'clock kickoff is Croatia versus Belgium. Belgium are in trouble. They don't get a result. They're done. Then the 7 o'clock kickoffs is Costa Rica versus Germany and Japan versus Spain. There's a lot going on in them groups as well, isn't it? Because of that draw, and they won. The results are all important here, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, this is now the
last game.
this is the gate. Yeah,
All right, cool.
so people need to get their best feet out.
We can get into it. What else are we doing? Let's just quickly run into our last little
Yeah,
headlines. I've only got 2 of them. This is what's important. Argentina topped the group. You get me? Yeah. That's important. Lionel Messi missed a penalty, but Argentina still clinched top spot in Group C with a 2-0 win over Poland, who squeezed into the last 16 on goal difference ahead of Mexico on a night of high drama. Argentina went into the game a point behind Poland, knowing a second-place finish would pit them against France in the last 16, but goals from Alex McAllister and Julian Alvarez after Wojciech Szczesny... How do you say his name again? Szczesny, anyway.
Ibra, right?
Szczesny had saved a contentious missed penalty, secured a deserved win, which means they will face Australia instead. For Poland, qualification was hanging in the balance right until the end. Yep. The Poland side sensationally set to advance on fair play points before Saudi Arabia's stoppage time goal in their 2-1 loss to Mexico put the Poles through on goal difference. Poland played out the final stages of their game, knowing another goal for either Argentina or Mexico would knock them out of the competition, and needed a goal line clearance from Kiwa in stoppage time to keep... Stop putting these names in there, please.
So rude.
No, stop doing it. Just say from my man. Say my man scored, and I'll run with that. You get me?
Stop putting his names in there, man.
And Mexico ultimately winning in a single goal, all of this good stuff. Obviously, oh my God, I didn't even know this. Pele got admitted to hospital.
Yeah, man.
Do you hear what happened to Pele?
Nah, babes.
Do you know who Pele is?
Of course I do.
Who?
I don't know. I don't know a damn thing.
Respect the legends, man.
I don't know what I don't know, Margs. What is it? The more I know, the less I know. Come on, man. Tell me who Pele is.
Listen, Brazilian football legend is back in hospital according to his daughter. But in an Instagram post, Kelly Nascimento also said there was no emergency as he continues to fight colon cancer.
Oh, no.
She said he had been admitted so that the doctors could regulate his medication. She wrote, lots of alarm in the media today concerning my dad's health. He's in the hospital regulating medication. There is no emergency or new dire prediction. I will be there for New Year's and promise to post some pictures. The football star had a tumour removed from his colon in September 2021 and has since been in and out of hospital for treatment on a regular basis. ESPN, in reporting 82-year-old had been admitted to Albert Einstein Hospital in Sao Paulo with general swelling and was having cardiac issues.
Sending prayers, man.
Sending our prayers out to Pele, man.
Yeah, man.
Wish you all the best, man. Legends never die, man. Gangway.
That's right.
All right, cool. Do they want the results? I didn't read out the results yesterday.
They'll be right. They can do that.
They'll be fine.
They'll be
They'll
right.
cool.
We
All
can give them
right.
everything.
Can't find the help, man. All right, let's get into our final section. Done at air.
I thought that's what you were questioning.
Whatever I should give them.
Yeah, guys will say, you're not here tomorrow. You will.
I'll say we should give them anything. I think we could have went after the interview. I think that would have been a perfect way to wrap it up. It was a dope interview. I think we should have just went home.
Should have given me the memo. You know me, I would have backed it.
I would have been all over that, man.
Here we are.
Huh?
Here we are.
But
Here we are.
Here
we are, Brent. You're right.
Thank you very much.
And lo and behold, someone's going to be done out here. I'll come across this story, yeah, and I don't like when I do this stuff here because I'm going to have to work out who I'm giving it to as I'm giving you the story.
Yeah.
I don't know who has to hold the L here. You get me? Trigger warning as well. Sexual assault and these things. There's things going on anyway. So there's a German doctor, yeah, Andreas Niederbichler.
All right. Just run with it.
Andreas Niederbichler, yeah, he's 45 years old, yeah, and he was jailed for 9 years, yeah, in 2009, yeah, over the death of a woman called Yvonne M. Okay, so he was. What was he charged with? I need the proper thing. What he's charged with? It's cause of death by something. Basically, they're saying he poisoned her.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She was married, yeah? So he was having an affair. She was a married lover, you get me? And she was having an affair with him and she died, yeah? I think they're calling him Dr. Doom or something like this, yeah? They're saying, like, he spiked her. Do you want to know how he spiked her?
Oh, dear.
By sprinkling cocaine on his penis before she performed oral sex.
You know what? You know what it is? You know what it is? That's quite a creative way to kill a person.
That's not fair. That's not spiking. She's an avid cocaine user. She saw the cocaine on the penis. I think she sniffed it up
but it's like an
and
overdose,
sucked
though,
it.
isn't it?
Well, then, but that's not. You can't say he killed. That
But then
she
would
took
take
part in
cocaine for
it.
the nose anyway, not for the mouth.
She took part in it. You can't like. It's not like it wasn't
But did
done
she know
under the
there was-
table.
didn't
It's called- It was on the Willy. Would you know if there was cocaine on the Willy?
First, don't ask me no questions in my place of work. First of all, but was she aware that the penis was laced with cocaine? That's why. Otherwise, she didn't consent to that. She didn't consent to a drugged up penis.
That sentence is cold. Was she aware the penis was laced with cocaine?
That is crazy.
This show is silly, man.
I think she was aware, yeah, and I think she took part. So basically, yeah, they're saying it was an overdose.
Yeah,
It was an overdose.
It would
so
be.
Yeah, so she took it straight to the head. Yeah, I'm saying that's a bit.
Literally. Sorry.
I'm saying that's a bit unfair to do him for like It wasn't murder. It wouldn't have been because only 9 names. Sorry, let me scroll through this because I need to understand
This is a bit unfair.
the proper terms.
I think I don't know if he uses cocaine, but I feel like with cocaine, what I've seen from the movies, obviously there's movies, it's usually a little bit gets you a long way. So if he's dipped it, you don't
put
speak, you
his
don't know lollipops.
the dip dab thing, the sherbet thing. He put the whole thing was just covered in there.
Willy into the coke. Like, of course she was going to overdose.
He's sick.
Get that man to jail, man. He's silly for that. That's so childish.
So he got in the civil thing, yeah. He was told they had to pay compensation, yeah, to the family, yeah, to cover funeral costs and send money to her husband and money to her son, yeah.
To her husband?
Imagine.
So many L's. Send money to her husband.
But he refused.
Oh, is it?
The first one, the husband should have refused to take it.
You think?
My wife died sucking your dick, and you're going to give me money.
Was it like 25 racks or something like that? It was like 7 grand something for the funeral costs, and then 8.5 bags each to the son and to the husband. But he was like, nope, not paying that. So then, but now he has to pay. He's got to pay. I don't know how it works. So I'm guessing the healthcare is not private. He's got to pay 11.5 grand to the medical insurers, IKK, the ones that handled her while she was going through whatever she was going through. Yeah, so he's got to pay the 11k to them. But I think he has to pay that. I don't know if he's actually going to be forced to pay this money to the husband or not. Because by rights, he should get some peas.
The husband?
Yeah. His wife was cheating. If the funeral home's going to get peas, I need peas as well.
But the funeral home
he's footing the bill for everything, boy.
But hey, adultery is not good. Plus, someone lost their life here.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a small price. It's a small price to pay. But listen.
In real
Sounds
time.
like a Netflix
In real
series.
time, yeah. Listen.
He's got previous.
Okay.
Yes, he's sexually assaulted 3 other women before, and he drugged them. And apparently, the investigation is saying he secretly put cocaine in their champagne glasses and their lipstick and their toothpaste. Now, I'm sorry, but cocaine doesn't work like this. No, like cocaine. I don't know because I'm not a big cocaine user. I've never used it.
I'm not big.
No, I'm just saying. I've never used it.
You make me sick.
No.
How can you say I'm not big?
I've never used it. I've never used it, yeah?
No, yeah.
But does it work like that? What do you mean in their toothpaste and in their lip? Does it work like that?
Yeah, I don't think he knows how it works. Because from what I've seen, it's through the nose. Like, he's putting in... Come on, he's silly, man. Yeah, get that man to jail.
Do you say he's a doctor?
No, he's a man that...
He's a doctor, yeah.
He's a doctor.
He's a professional. He knows. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. He probably knows the best way to get your bloodstream.
Yeah, he's like, listen, get it straight in.
Straight in,
so I can do my thing.
So he's a predator. And he's done that here. He's the one that's done that here.
Yeah, he's definitely done that.
You've got to be careful with your cocaine use. That's what I'm just telling you. Like, I don't know if it comes with guidelines and that, but be mindful of what you're doing out here. Yeah. Too much of one thing is good for nothing. Yeah. Nanny told me that. So just be mindful.
It's a life lesson for me.
Wisdom, you know.
What do you mean wisdom on cocaine use? Like,
you've got to use your discretion, man, and be sensible, man, and make sure we're safe out here. Yeah, he's definitely done it here. He's got previous. He's a predator. He killed someone. He's going to foot the bills. He's holding all the L's. And I'm guessing he's still in jail. 9 years in 2019. Yeah. He's still in the workhouse, isn't it?
Yeah. For a while still.
Yeah, man. Andreas need a bleacher.
You're a bitch. That's it. You're a bitch.
You are done at here, man. Serve your time, man. Let's get into these outros, please.
Let's do it. All right, you guys would agree this has been a great show. So thank you to our our listeners, everybody who listens to the show, our live watchers, the YouTube crew. We really appreciate you guys. And of course, our lovely, lovely guests as well, Progression. And guys, make sure you listen to This Is What I Mean, Stormzy's album. It's amazing. And you guys follow us on our social media platforms. The day after TNB, comment, like, do all that great stuff. Share this video as well. This video stays up when we're done, so share it. Don't leave this video without liking it. Don't be a witch, okay? And if you'd like to send voice notes in and texts for asking for a friend, what would you do? Also, the number to call in when we're live, it's 075 6484 1073. If you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, you can email our team the day after at thenewblack.com. But guys, we appreciate you every single time, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
You won't see me, boy. I'm going to Stockholm.
All right, cut the cameras.